Well, let's see if that's working.
Mm-hmm.
Should be good.
Okay.
Chat. I actually don't know. I've never gone live on YouTube.
Vertical.
Vertical.
So we're live. We're live now.
Yes.
Oh wow.
We're live on YouTube Vertical, but I don't know if there's a view count. I don't really know how it works exactly. Do you want to try to find our stream on your phone, please?
Yeah. Is it private? It says.
Is it? Edit. How to draw anime visibility public?
Yeah.
I guess. We'll see if that works.
I don't know.
Yeah, go to our channel.
Okay.
There we go.
Oh, there we are. Okay.
I don't know why that thumbnail is there. Change. I don't know. I guess I'll just do like that. I don't know which chat is going to be the chat. I don't know if it's going to be this chat or that chat or both.
It could be both.
Test. Test.
There it goes.
Okay, so it's that chat.
Yeah.
So what is this chat then?
Karam.
Hello.
Hey.
Is this working? Can you see us? Jay? Okay, so it is this chat.
Yeah.
That's kind of dumb, honestly. I wish... How do I... All messages are visible. Are we vertical for you guys? Is that how it works? We're trying vertically streaming on YouTube for the first time. We have no music either, do we?
Nope.
This fork sucks so bad.
I'll get you another one.
No. I don't feel like having two forks. Okay.
Well, I mean, I'll just replace your fork with a new fork.
There it goes.
Yeah.
It's set up like TikTok now. Yeah, we're vertical. The stream's current bitrate is lower than the recommended bitrate. Why? How do I pop out chat? That's really dumb. It's really, really dumb.
We got quiche today. Has a little snacky.
All right, one sec. Go live on TikTok, art tutorials and chill. I'm just saying, ask pro artists.
Oh, okay. That
See
sounds
if
pretty fun.
Is interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know what the topic is. Learn. Okay.
Oh, learn. Okay.
Well, that's dumb. You can hear us and see us fine. It's just like TikTok.
Great.
That is great. So we are streaming vertically on YouTube for the first time. Trying it out.
Seeing what happens.
Yeah, seeing how it works. Lexi, Toast with Jam.
Hey.
Dre, Novi, hello, welcome. Yeah, we're just going to draw whatever and do whatever today. I don't know. This is kind of an experimental stream right now.
Yeah.
Bro, there's so much cat hair. It's the worst fork ever made. Okay.
Probably for this
I
meal.
have to shovel into my mouth.
I'm so sorry. I should have given you a normal fork. For my anime OC, how would you draw eyes with depression, sleep deprived? I would say shape language is going to be your best friend on that. When you look at characters with like heavy emotions, generally their eyes could be more downturned. Like once I changed the shape.
Kaito, hello.
Hey Kaito.
And Drew.
Hey. You know, this is one option, right? You can have eyes that look like this, downturned, and maybe they're really tired. So sometimes, they'll have like eye bags and maybe very small, like kind of dull pupils. That's just one option. Hey, Lindsay. And maybe their expression can be very like flat, so they just don't really react anymore. So maybe their eyebrows could be very straight. That could be an option if you want, Jay.
Content updates. There we go.
Hey.
What's up? Hey, yo, Lindsay. Vertical on YouTube. So my question is, are you in shorts? Are you guys on YouTube in shorts? Or are you just on the normal page?
Streaming a little early today, huh? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, it's not like we don't like streaming at 5, but sometimes it gets really late. We stream for like a good 4 or 5 hours sometimes.
Shorts. Well, you're on TikTok. Are you on YouTube as well? See? Because I'm asking YouTube chat if they're watching us in the Shorts tab or just on the normal stream area. Looks like it's Shorts. Hi, Clear Sky. Jay, awesome. Welcome. You're on normal? How's TikTok doing? Normal stream area for you, Clear Sky?
I wonder if anyone's found us on like shorts, like organically.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I can't actually tell.
This month is going on a sick day, been sick for weeks now. Oh, that sucks, Kaito.
Yeah, I have no idea if this is going to be any good on YouTube Shorts or what.
I avoid actively shorts though. Okay, got you.
Maybe this would be better? Concurrent viewers 16.
Ayo.
I'm trying to figure out a way where I can kind of fit all this in.
Hey, Black Maiden. Hey, 7.
Concurrent viewers. We should be good on YouTube.
Great. Thank you for setting that up.
Sick the whole month, huh? That sucks.
Yeah, I cannot imagine being sick for a whole month.
Yeah.
Book in. What is that?
I don't know. What are we doing today? I don't really know. We don't really have a
Specific plan.
Yeah, we don't really have a specific plan today. We're just eating a snack, I guess.
And drawing some. And, answering questions if we find it interesting to answer a particular question. Hands, please.
We have multiple
hands TikToks.
Yes, we do have multiple hands TikToks. A couple of them are over 2 million views. People find them pretty useful. You can go check out those on our page. A couple really good videos on hands we have.
What happened? We're on vertical. Doing vertical format on YouTube.
What happened? That's vague.
Yeah, I guess that is vague. I'm only assuming because we're in a different format.
I shaved my head.
Yes.
Is your book in English? Yes.
Yes, it is in English. It would be kind of neat if we did do different languages of our books sometime. That'd be a lot of work. Thank you. I'm the good guy for the follow. And El Mati.
Watching Courtney is making me starve.
Being sick with my taste buds taste funny like bitter. Oh no. You shave, I thought that it's natural beauty.
So what's everybody up to these days? Working on any fun projects? Who's doing the 7 Deadly Sweets challenge?
Yeah.
Anybody? Who is working on their 7 Deadly Sweets?
Me, Kaito says.
Awesome.
Was any of your apps shut down today? Nope. Not that I know of, Lindsay.
Yeah, there was some sort of big outage caused by Amazon or something.
Oh, really? Caused by Amazon.
Working on mine. I might join. Awesome. Yep, we've got 10 days, 11 days left.
11 days left. That's not a lot of time.
11 days left for the 7 Deadly Sweets. If you want to join it, you can go to our Discord server. If you are new, there's a challenge going on. We're going to be doing a big long stream on October 31st on Halloween. It's going to be a lot of fun. There's a challenge, 7 Deadly Sweets.
It's going to be a really fun one. I'm working right now on stream. Nice, Kaito.
How many characters can we draw? No limit?
No limit.
I mean,
Well,
probably 7, but if
yeah.
you want to do multiple versions of one, I would say if you do more than 7 characters in 11 days, that's wild.
Yeah, that would be pretty sick.
I would recommend 1 or 2. Like,
Yeah.
make them good.
Make them good. Make them juicy.
Be a sweat.
Yeah.
Be a sweat.
Hey, ouchie. Making 3? Hey, that's good. That's good.
I want to do the challenge if I have time. Nice. Paused your craft, still working on Halloween costume. Nice.
We don't take those kind of requests, like existing characters. We usually take some tutorial requests if you have.
Do you take
Interesting
requests if so can you? Yeah. I do like My Life as a Teenage Robot though.
I never
XJ9,
watched it.
Classic. She's a classic. So good. I watched that growing up.
I wish I watched that growing up.
Why is this? Oh.
You sure do, Lindsay. Have mentorship homework. Hope that
You sure
that's
do.
been treating you well. I'm still shocked at Lindsay's improvement. With
Yeah,
art.
Lindsay is wild.
I was like,
Wild
bro, is this
improvement.
real? That's crazy.
It's crazy that if you draw and do good assignments, you get better.
Yeah,
Like it just works.
it just works.
It just works. Just works. Got some chill playlist stuff.
Well, the topic is how to draw anime.
Just for sharing. Thank you for the follow.
Thank you. I didn't know you had a Discord. I just joined it right now. Awesome.
Yes,
Thank
welcome.
you.
And it looks like you joined. It looks like you got the role nice. Has it been getting cold for you guys yet? No.
It
At
was.
night, it was not cold.
It was not cold.
It was slightly cool. You could still wear t-shirt and shorts and not be cold, but it was getting a little bit cool. But it got hot again.
Yeah.
It always happens here.
It's just at this point, a cold is just a theory.
Yeah. Cold doesn't exist. I never knew her. Yeah, it's been. Hello, Lau. How's it going? It's Cherry. Thank you for the follow. For me, it only works if I have fun. Guarantee you can get better even if you're not having fun. Obviously, you'd want to have fun, right? I recommend it. But you can definitely get better at some. Like you can go to the gym and lift heavy weights and not have fun and get stronger. It just works like that. Your muscles are independent, and your drawing ability is independent of your enjoyment centers. I'm not recommending you draw and don't have fun though.
Yeah. Lau says, guess what? I posted a video on YouTube and added an act.
Oh, nice.
Did. What's the video about? Art stuff? Or just something random?
No, it's a get ready with me video.
Is it?
What do you think it is? Of course, it's art.
Well, I don't know. Sometimes it could be different, you know?
Lau should have a get ready with me video.
That's wild.
I would watch it.
You would? Get ready with me.
Get ready with me.
Wait, we should
It's
even
a
have
draw
like
with
a
me.
a draw with
Get
me.
drawing with me. We should what?
I was gonna say we should do like a get ready with me video with our characters. That'd be kind of funny.
How?
I don't
Like
know.
Animated or something?
I guess some kind of thing.
It's so funny. It just doesn't do cold. Oh, I love the cold. It just doesn't get cold here.
I love the cold.
Attacked this weekend and had to defend myself.
Oh,
That's horrible.
that is horrible.
That's crazy.
I hope that you're okay.
Gearwim. Get ready with me to ask Colton to play an act. Have you ever heard of Warhammer? Yeah. There's a Discord. Yeah. Yes, we have a Discord server.
Mm-hmm.
You can chat with people. There's
Draw.
a challenge going on this month for Halloween. It's called 7 Deadly Sweets. You can check it out in the announcements channel, and there's also a channel stream challenge with the rules and stuff. We're going to be doing a nice long, probably over 10-hour long stream. Might be around 12 hours. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm. And do reactions, do artwork.
Mhm.
It'll be heckin' fun. For those of you who don't have any plans for Halloween, we're here.
Awesome. I don't know your name. It's just a swirly
Aw.
little swirl for me. You guys are my favorite artists. You have helped me so much in my art journey. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you. I really appreciate that.
I appreciate it. That is great. I was like, what is that? It's just a pen.
Oh.
So you can stream vertically and horizontally on YouTube at the same time. But I don't know if I feel like setting that add up because I was looking at it. You have to make 2 stream keys.
Oh.
I could actually go live horizontally as well. You
Well,
have to
the
have
good thing-
2 stream keys.
The good thing is that you can do. This is also recorded on our YouTube channel, I think, right? I assume
What?
the short,
No.
the vertical.
I don't think so.
Oh, really?
We could, maybe it'll be there.
Hmm.
How do you suggest practicing faces and clothes? Copy, make full attempts. I mean, you definitely get better that way for sure. It's not bad to copy and study.
Mm-hmm.
Faces and clothes, I would treat them as separate things.
Yeah.
Definitely treat them as separate categories. For faces, like what kind of faces do you want to do? I would. I guess there's no kitty in here. For faces, I would recommend learning the planes of the face. Draw it a whole bunch of times.
Yep. Break down the face into forms.
Yeah, what kind of faces do you want to do? But everything's pretty much a derivative of real.
Mm-hmm.
Jeha, hello.
Hey, Jeha. Join, yay, awesome.
Specifically struggle with eyes. You can draw heads very well. Draw a bunch of eyes
Yeah,
from different angles, stuff like that.
like something that I wished I knew earlier was how the eyes like went in the face, or like how it rolled over the face and stuff. Like it's not just a sticker, but there's like an actual way or direction that eyes like to behave. It's basically like, think of it like there's an eye socket, right? Even in anime eyes, but it's hidden very well with extra details and stuff like the eyelids. But like essentially, you want to make sure that your eyes.
This is
What?
anime stuff.
Yeah, this is the anime style.
And we can talk about clothes in a little bit.
Yeah. Like, I want you to imagine the wireframe. This will also work with realistic heads, by the way. It's just a different style. But, like, I want you to imagine a sphere and how that connects into the head. And then you want to draw, like, a little wrapping line. It's going to look ugly, but that's okay because you're practicing, and it doesn't have to look pretty. And then when you roll your eyelid over the form, it feels more convincing. You know, here's your eyelid because it wraps over the sphere. Here's another eyelid. Here's the bottom of your eye. And you can flatten it if you want. But essentially, this is kind of like how an eye shape is like and how the eye rolls around the form. You can draw your eyeballs.
The iris.
Iris, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you can always just erase these little guidelines to make it prettier.
I see the landscape one, but it doesn't look live right now. Yeah, we never went live landscape, and there might be like a. Something might have gotten terribly wrong. No, I just looked up a quick guide on going vertical on YouTube and hit live and to see how it worked and what was going on. It might not even be worth trying, really.
Do you use Procreate brushes or your own? I use Procreate brushes, but I don't use a lot. This is the brush that we use currently. It's on our website, drawanime.com, and it is the green button called Digital Brush. This will work in Procreate and anything that holds a Photoshop brush. Seeing as it pops out as spheres in the face helps. Yeah. And yeah, they're kind of like little domes. Wait, I saw a tutorial, not tutorial, but like a breakdown that eyes are basically like, lips are like eyes. Because if you think about it, if you draw like lips, there's a lid that wraps around the form. You know, same thing on the bottom lip. And then if you just had an eye. Oh my gosh, it's an eye! And the mouth is an eye. That's crazy.
Yeah, Ramon Hurtado, really, really good anatomy teacher, was saying that the mouth is just an eye.
It literally is, though.
Yeah. I so want to take his class. I actually saw that from just like a little 5-10 second clip of a course preview. You know they do that on purpose.
But it's like, okay, here's an eye. You draw the eyelid, which is kind of like a thick flap of skin, because there's a bottom side.
Yeah, exactly. Now I will be creating disgusting mouth-eye hybrids. Literally. Bro, I should put like a golf ball in my mouth and like...
Put an
and then
iris
take
in
like
it.
a picture of my mouth with a golf ball and then like turn it into an eye. That would be a great short.
That would. And then this is an eye, but turn it into a mouth.
Yeah, Ginny, we're just experimenting with streaming on YouTube vertical.
Bro, that's wild. It's the same thing.
Hey, Demonics. ATM, yeah, that's the vertical streaming plugin. It works good. When are you guys doing game night again? We don't really plan game night. 8 art? I don't know what that means. Support our art community. Mario Art, thank you very much. Yes, Mario Art said support our community, so if you want to join our Discord server, you can go here. You don't have to support us. Just being here is plenty, honestly. We appreciate any moment that you spend here. Time is the most valuable thing that you have, so if you're spending it with us, really appreciate it. We do have a Discord server. We have a challenge that's running 7 Deadly Sweets. We're going to be doing a big, long 10, 12-hour stream on October 31st. If you don't have anything to do for Halloween, we got your backs. We are going to be streaming, having fun all day, doing lots of fun stuff. Although Mario was saying support their community, but I hijacked their comment and said support ours.
That's funny. I didn't even know that. I've heard advice claiming you get most mileage from attempting full works. Do you subscribe to that? Or is it better to just break it down into pieces as much as possible?
There was a really, really good breakdown I saw a while back, and basically I like to think about there's component skills and there's batch skills. So back.
There we go.
Here we go. So the way that I like to think about it is there's like component skills. And there's batch skills. All right. And so there's component skills, right? Perspective, anatomy. You know, there's like design skills. And you get better at component skills by practicing component skills. You want to get better at perspective, you draw a whole bunch of boxes. And now very few things are like true component skills where you're only learning one single thing, right? Like some of this practice from the other day, right? These are like component skills. This is like practicing drawing boxes along a line will get you better at rotating boxes. And here's some other examples, which is like rotating boxes around a cylinder. These are some of the things that I like to practice. And then putting them into practice, I like doing little doodles like this that kind of exercise that a little bit. But there's no like color, there's no value, there's not a lot. Like there's design because I'm like arranging objects and I'm like placing objects next to each other. But for the most part, this is like a component skill practice, right? And then there's like batch skills, and batch skills would be like something like this, right? I'm just turning on layers of stuff that I talked about the other day. This is like an old artwork of mine, all right? And so this is a batch skill. What is the batch, right? What is included in this? Well, there's form rendering, there's composition, there's design, there's storytelling, there's environment, there's like elements of environment, right? There's like simplification of details, there's color theory. That would be like a batch skill, all right? So you come up here and it's like batch skills are like full finished artworks. Full finish, right? You could even do like a portrait, like a color portrait.
Alan says, hello guys, just want to stop here and say thank you for the YouTube channel. It really helps. Thank you, Alan.
Right? I would say these are really important, and you want to do both. Batch skills and component skills, right? I recommend doing both. Practice a lot of perspective, but then you learn how to like actually apply it to a scene by actually making a scene. And so these will feed into this, right? These will like feed into this. So you'll go and you'll do a training arc where you make 100 portraits, or you do 1,000 anime heads, right? I'm doing a 1,000 anime head challenge. That's like a component. That's like a component skill, all right? And then I go and make an anime illustration, and my anime heads are better in a finished artwork.
Mm-hmm.
So I agree. Like, I think it is good. You get a lot of mileage from attempting full works. I don't think it's the only way. I think there's a lot of artists out there who only attempt full works, and they don't really spend time learning their component skills, right? They don't do like a lot of anatomy studies. This is like a component skill, right? This type of thing. They're like anatomy studies. I'm like, here's the latissimus dorsi, here's the erector spinae, here's the scapula, acromion process, the humerus. Like, I'm learning about this kind of stuff. This is definitely a component skill, right? Abdominal muscles, how those work. Like, these are like stuff that I do during stream while Christina's talking to chat.
Mm-hmm.
This is like definitely like component. Like all of this stuff here, component. And so I think component stuff is really fun to doodle, you know, build a sketchbook or something.
Meanwhile, Swag says, oh, my scary anatomy.
Were you the same
Check on.
person who asked about clothing? I don't remember.
I think so, like eyes and clothes.
If you want to learn clothes, I would really recommend learning the 7 basic folds. Okay. 7 basic folds. We actually have a TikTok with Anya on the 7 basic folds. The 6-7 class. All right, I'll go to our TikTok really quick, and then I'll hit this. Okay, reference off.
Oh, by the way, you can get our brush.
Anya on our TikTok. 7 basic folds. We've got pipe fold, diaper fold, zigzag fold, spiral fold. Half lock fold, drop fold, dead fold, and follow for more, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
I assumed copying from real life images was the best method. It's a great method.
Oh, it's a great
You can't
method.
go wrong
You can't
with
go,
it.
yeah.
You can't go wrong with it.
Especially life drawing.
I wasn't sure how to deal with practicing clothes. I know the folds, but not sure how to practice. Yeah, I mean, Christina did a breakdown quite a while back. Let's go find it. Zoom. I don't know where the heck it is. Here's a clothing one.
Mm-hmm.
Let's find, where's that one with the jumpsuit?
It's down further. There it is.
So here's a good example. So like this was just some random image from Pinterest that she found. And let me actually just grab like a Pinterest image really quick and just do like a little doodle or something with
I'll study.
folds. So copying from real life, this is not the only way. There's a lot of good ways to study stuff, but I would say let's just cut it to like here, okay?
Oh yeah.
If I were to do a study of this image, I'd probably first come in and just be like, okay, here's the angle of the hips. Right? This leg is coming down like this. This leg is coming out like this. Going in, out. And this one's probably coming like that. And this one's kind of coming like that. All right, I would do just like a quick sketch.
Perfect. That's so good.
And then I'd start adding the clothes over top, okay? So we got like, here's this waistband. You got a couple folds up in here. This follows the hip. Here's the leg underneath, but this goes,
Baggy pants like to do that.
right? We got like this little zoop that comes out from behind. That's what it's called, a zoop. This comes in front, over. I'm like really looking for tension and compression, right?
This is what I teach in our anime art school.
Yeah. There's that.
By the way, congrats Rhino again for getting our anime art school.
Yes, is Rhino here?
Yep, he is here.
Awesome. Right, and I'm just gonna like sort of look at some of these, right? Like I'm looking at this, I'm looking at this coming around. We sort of got like this. This is really, really baggy. We've got that fold here coming in, and it's sort of like comes down to here below the knee and sort of wobbles. And we've got another one coming out behind it. Right? And we got another one coming out behind it.
Thank you, Resident.
And we've sort of got a
I am drinking coconut.
there. This is a tension. This is tension, and this kind of comes down and pulls around, you know, sort of like that.
It kind of follows the tibialis anterior, kind of.
Pay attention to your seam lines. Those are really important. Those show your depth.
Mm-hmm.
Those show depth. You even got like this little line on the front. You can see it's like that. So, you know, you can have something that comes out behind it and down like this. I should do more clothing studies.
Heck yeah. This page teaches me more than any other. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the lovely comment. Rai says, would you say that including value/color is necessary, or would you hold that off until you nail the basics?
Value and color is part of the basics. So, you know, if you want to add value and color, I would recommend doing so after you have established, like, dimensionally what you're looking at. You can't add value to something if you don't understand the dimensions, really. This is like studio lighting, right? So you've got really, really soft lighting. Like, if I'm adding value and color to this, I'm going, this is lit. This is in shadow. So you've got like top lighting that's really soft. I don't see any like really hardcore shadows around here. No core. This is being lit, so you've definitely got a light, like some soft light coming from this way. You've got soft light coming from that way, right? This is kind of in shadow here. This is lit, but not super strongly. This form turning away from me is lit as well, but it's not really being hit by direct light. It doesn't feel like so much.
I love the
So-
seam line in the top, in the front.
Yeah,
That's
it's
great.
it's really great. And so
Actually-
I would start going through and going,
It actually also anchors the drawing too.
yeah, like there's a seam line, there's a seam line. You've got this. Like that's how I would do like a real life clothing study, you know, just breaking it down how it works.
Thank you for the follows. Like Cringe, Manga for Life, Trini,
One,
Resonant,
two,
and Shine.
three.
Thank you for the follows. And Dahlia, hey, Insomnia.
You know, we could do that. This really squeezes in and out. Could just be some simple study like this.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on?
I think you put on a different layer.
Maybe I did make a new layer somehow.
And I feel like the
I just
next
do like
step,
a simple clothing study like this.
Yeah.
What's that?
I feel like the next step after this would be like, you know, doing a value study if you want to take it even further.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'll show you really quick like some examples of like that's a one that Christina did on live stream a while back. But I'll show you some examples of some more finished work because I ain't drawing out at right now. I'll just chuck a couple of my old studies up. So here's a couple reference on. There we go. So these are like a couple examples, right, where I've studied from a photo and I've really tried to interpret and simplify the folds and what they're doing. So, you know, this one's like multi-layered, paying a lot of attention to zigzags and diamonds, paying a lot of attention to like where's that tension, where's that compression, zoop, zoop, right?
Look at that.
Lot of tension going on there. We've got some wrapping going on around here. The pocket helps to wrap the form around. There's also these ones. This one is more of like a value study, and you can see this drop shadow, this cast shadow, it describes the form, right? So you've got cast shadows and you've got core shadows. And so like differentiating between those, like here's a core, right? This is like wrapping around. This is wrapping around. Look at this insane tension point right here. You've got her hand and all of this is pulling out very, very strongly from this tension point right there, right? Same with here. Zoop, 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 zoop. Lots and lots and lots of tension going on there. Same with like this sort of thing. Lots of tension. Here's more drop shadows describing form. It happens a lot like that, right? Like you'll have, let me think, a cylinder and maybe something like this. And the shadow of that cylinder goes like this.
So how do studies work actually?
I'm not sure what you mean.
Do you mean like what do you accomplish in a study, or like how to do a study? How do you draw torso using pillow and bean method more explained, and how to draw legs and arms? That's a lot.
Shadows will describe the forms of things that they're cast on, but that's the exact way. And so I literally just start out like this. I look for like the main big folds.
So they say how to do a study.
How to do a study? You observe. I mean, in the beginning, you're just fumbling around in the dark, right? Like, you don't even feel like you're learning anything. You don't know anything, but that's how it always feels. That's how everybody feels. Just do a bunch, and you literally can feel yourself learning. You can feel things getting more understandable as time goes on. I would really recommend taking classes as well. Like, I studied anatomy, right? And I still study anatomy. Like, I do this stuff during stream on the side where I'm like just looking at different stuff and learning different things. You know, you study like proportion and then you observe and copy the real world as well. Like, I mean, there's so many studies. There's movie studies, there's master studies, there's
Figure
composition studies, figure drawings, gesture drawings. Studying just means like you're extracting information from somewhere else and trying to learn from it. So I would just say that, like, there is no right way to study. It's just, are you learning something from somewhere else? It's study.
Luna Leah, we have a few YouTube videos, or we have a YouTube video on how to draw the body with, you know, using the pillow and bean. And we explain that and how to do that. So if you want to go check that out, you can go to our YouTube channel. It is Draw Anime Academy on YouTube.
I mean, the pillow and the bean are really just simplifications of the torso. Some people prefer a bean, some people prefer a pillow, but they're really just describing the exact same thing. And so the pillow, for example, this is like a two-dimensional shape. It's kind of three-dimensional because there's an overlap here, but I could go like this. Actually, I do this on stream before. Here, let me just delete these, okay? So this is a pillow, right? Let's just take this here, copy it over a couple times. You can do this. You can do this. You can do that. Here, let me copy it over one more time. We'll twist this way, and then we'll twist that way. So we've got like a stretch. We've got a bend. And we've got twist.
Twist A, twist B.
You know, twist and twist. And this is mostly what the torso does. You can, you know, this would be going back, this would be going forward, this would be going like that, and this would be going like that. So the pillow is really just a simplification of that. Same with the bean. The bean is just going, there's this, and there's a stretch. So if you draw like a bean,
Miko followed creative. We have a character named Miko.
you know, it's just the same thing. You have a bend and you have a stretch side, or that, right? Or that. And the legs can come off however you want them to come off, right? They could go like that. They could go like that. They could come out like that. It doesn't really matter. So, I mean, when I think about the pillow or the bean or the boxes, it's really just a simplification of the upper body, right? And so when I think about the upper body, and I can't really read chat, so Christina kind of got to handle that for now.
Yep. So you say we're beans. I guess.
Can be.
Can be.
Can bean.
Can. Yo, this is witchcraft? I know. It
Right.
really is.
1, 2, 3. Upper body. You take this, and you take this measurement down. I didn't want to save it. Get out of here. Okay. Where was I? Yes.
Legs.
You bring this down. Pelvis. Feet.
Very common proportional system.
This is just a simple 8-head figure. This head is going to be 2/3 of this upper box. So you've essentially got box 1, 2, and 3. That's half of the figure. And then you bought box 4, 5, and 6. That's the second half of the figure. And then the head is 2/3, a little bit big, is 2/3 of this top box. And what it really is it's an 8-head figure. Another way to get to this is you just go, here's the full height of your figure, divide it in half, divide this in half, divide this one in half, 8 heads. And that's a pretty standard unit of measurement that you learn in most classes. The second one is your rib cage. So there's your rib cage. Pit of the neck is where the second box is. The back comes up above. Arms come down. Bottom of the rib cage. Elbows swing out.
This
pubic
is getting
bone.
hard.
Hands extra on the bottom. A pretty simple 8-head figure. That's what you learn in most figure drawing classes.
What about legs? Can you give a tut, please? I'm really bad in proportions also.
I'm pretty bad at legs, honestly. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty bad at legs. But
You can draw a decent leg, like
halfway is generally gonna be the bottom of the pillar of the knee, which is
bottom of your kneecap.
the bottom of your kneecap. You know, there's other measurements like where's your calf muscle at exactly, but the leg, like you can simplify it as like a tube, and it goes like like this, and it's a tube that gets smaller, like this. The adductors are extra, this inside calf muscle is extra, and then this overlaps. This is a good breakdown of the leg, in my opinion.
I really like
This
it.
is
Very
how
fluid.
this is how Asaro broke down the leg. John Asaro, he's the same one that made the Asaro head, which I don't really have. Here's one. Here's an Asaro head. If you've seen this thing before.
Look at that.
He also broke down the figure in planes of the body, and here's one of his figures.
Boop.
But you
Look
can
at the
see
legs.
that's exactly how the leg is constructed. You go, zoop, zoop, and then you add the extra bits.
Same with arms
So it's-
too.
Yeah. There's some pretty good breakdowns. It's kind of like this, right? Zoop, zoop. And then the adductors are extra.
Abby says, "What's the best way to study animal anatomy? Are there any books on it for artists?"
Yeah, Terrell Whitlatch has a bunch of good books. I don't know animal anatomy personally, but Aaron Blaze, I think that's how you spell it. He has classes on animal anatomy, and Terrell, how do you spell it?
T-E...
Uh,
Let me look.
Terrell Whitlatch. I think her last name starts with like Terryl Whitlatch. She's like the mother of animal anatomy and creature design. She has books, multiple books. They're really good. And Aaron Blaze, he's a very good animal artist. He has a website called like creatureteacher.com or something. I don't
That's
remember.
fun.
I would recommend that. So I don't really want to try and teach something that I don't know how to do or don't have the basics of. Eventually I'll study animals and teach it too. Where can you buy the Asaro head and body online? I don't know. I 3D printed them myself. Is there anything that you guys love drawing? If so, what is it?
Women.
Christina likes drawing women.
I do.
Very much so.
I do.
I don't know. I was a background artist for a long time. So I like drawing backgrounds and environments. I have a lot of that kind of stuff. Like this is my portfolio. So I've been a concept artist for a long time. I really enjoy doing cute stuff. I do enjoy doing cute stuff like this. This was a live stream demo that I did, I don't know, a couple weeks or a month ago. This was another live stream demo. I enjoy painting backgrounds, landscapes, mushroom dimension.
I love that
You can't
one.
actually even see it, can you?
Oh.
It can't scroll that low. This kind of stuff. I enjoy painting environments. That kind of stuff. I like post-apocalyptic things as well. I like doing sketches and figuring out designs. Here's most of the image, I would say. A good amount of it. I think it's pretty fun. Oh, I guess there's two versions. This is old. I don't remember when I made this. When did I even make that? 2020?
I think so. Maybe earlier than that?
But yeah, that's what I like doing.
What's the... Oh, never mind.
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't really help you with the Asaro head and body. You can buy it from Asaro's website. I think it's called planesofthehead.com. But you have to buy, I think, a full-size version unless they have more stuff available. Why the new vertical stream? We're just testing stuff.
Yeah.
We're not going to do the same thing for the rest of our lives. Loving the vibe.
Thank you,
Awesome.
Loki.
I'm turning into Unk. I don't understand any current memes. I can think of 6 or 7 different memes that I can teach you.
I love that one so much for some reason.
Yeah, but anyways, torsos, really important. And this literally, like, you could literally just take one of these.
Add legs and arms.
Crap, I always do that. Control T is transform. But when I'm when I'm streaming on TikTok, Control T is to start a poll, and I always accidentally start a poll. It actually makes it so the
Wait, that actually looks so good. Did you guys just see what he just did?
there you go.
He literally just took that torso and just placed it on the body. Oh, I like this song. Talking about design, would give any type of tutorial or must
There
consider.
you go.
I guess I'm not really exactly sure what you're saying. It's hard to understand.
I think they're probably asking. I'm gonna just vibe out the comment,
Yeah.
right?
Vibe it out.
Would give any type of tut or must consider when showing characters posing. So posing characters, is that what you want to know about? I would say a good solid pose has a clear like intention and purpose. All right, so contrapposto can help a lot, which is the opposing angles of the rib cage and pelvis.
It's really just designing your pose.
Weighted leg is generally the one that's up. This leg you can do whatever you want, right? You can do this.
Cute.
You can do what she's doing right here, which is like this. Like that. You could even do like
Fancy.
You could do that. And the arms you can pretty much do whatever you want with as well. This leg is generally to help keep balance. This leg right here. So a lot of the time you'll see like that. And then the arms you can pretty much do. Again, what's your torso doing? Is it doing this? Is it doing this? Right? We'll have it do this. Okay? The head. We can tilt it like this. We can tilt it like that. If I tilt it this way, I could say maybe put the arm up like this. Like that's kind of fun. But I don't have to put the arm up. You can go, you can do that. That's totally fine. You could put the arm forward. You could put the arm backwards. It really doesn't matter what you do.
We actually have a video on that on our YouTube channel as well. Just kind of thinking about the pose and different components and that. Oh, she's looking at a bowl of cereal. Ooh, a bowl of soup. Yummy.
Like, it doesn't really matter what you do. You can, like, this is like the foundation of the pose, right? Like, the person standing, you take their plumb line, zoop, down to the ground. It feels like they're balanced. Plumb line is where the people go into the Titans, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Cervical vertebrae.
Yeah, your seventh cervical vertebrae. That's
Yeah.
that you feel right there. That's generally where you can pull the plumb line down from. It can be a little bit off of that, but generally it's around there. Right here, you pull a straight line down to the ground. Do they feel like they're balanced? Do they feel like they're going to tip over? Maybe you want them to tip over. That's a choice. Right? I'd say we do like this, maybe.
I really like that. It's a nice pose.
And it's got all the makings of just a successful pose in general. You can't go wrong with contrapposto and a weighted leg. Like, it's very basic. There's a lot of other kinds of poses, of course, but this is pretty basic for, like, posing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you can see it works with stuff like this as well.
Very informative stream. Loving it. Thank you.
Awesome.
And if you like the way that we teach and stuff and you want to be a bit more, and you want to be more serious about art, we actually do have classes as well. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Or now, whichever.
Yeah, we can talk about it now.
Yeah.
Christina and I have been working for a really long time, and we built an online school. It is called Anime Art School, and it's actually an entire year-long program that's basically like a college. It'll most likely take you around a year and a half to get through, and it's on sale right now, by the way. But Yeah, it's called Anime Art School. We have a whole bunch of different classes.
Heads and faces drawing
Heads, faces,
class.
expressions.
Anatomy
Figure
class.
drawing and human anatomy, fabric and form, clothing drawing. So whoever was asking about that, you'll learn the 7 basic folds. You'll learn a lot different assignments in order to draw clothing. You'll learn different clothing types, that kind of stuff. I teach the perspective and dimensional drawing class. I've been teaching perspective for a really long time.
Yep. And this is
Advanced character design. That's a great class.
yes, and Colton is also has like a painting class. So
What
these are
is it
just
called? It's called Anime Art School.
Yes,
And it's on drawanime.com. That is our website. Don't Google that. It's just a website. You can also find that on a linky on our profile.
And we're currently having 20%
Yes,
off.
$100 off with code SPOOKY for the Halloween sale. And yeah, there's actually a number of people in the chat who are students and they really like it. So
Yeah.
swag appreciated. Buy the school, it's peak. I haven't done my homework yet. And Dahlia as well.
Yeah.
You can check it out. There's a big page that you can read all about it and see a bunch of stuff from.
Yes, it does cost money. It is a year-long program after all.
Yeah, Sketchfab's pretty popular.
Yeah, I heard of that. I remember
Just
that.
make sure that you're downloading an Asaro head that's accurately made. Anybody's allowed to try and build an Asaro head and upload it on there. A lot of them have terrible proportions and planes. A lot of beginner modelers out there that can't model, and they'll just upload their work online. So you don't want to be studying from a badly made head.
Yeah, nope.
Find something that's proportionally accurate.
Do you know the person you got it from that did actually make it pretty accurately? No, you don't know.
No idea.
Oh, okay.
A year-long program you have forever.
Yes, exactly. You have forever.
Yeah.
So I would say it's a pretty good stinking deal. We had a question earlier, like how do you make sure that the arms are proportional when drawing the arms up pose or anything that's like going up?
The arm's really just your upper. It's just one of the 3 boxes.
Yeah, like
So your elbow will generally go to the top of your head.
Yeah.
Like,
or maybe like a little bit higher generally, but like
tiny bit higher.
it's gonna be like this.
But the reason it goes a little bit higher is because your shoulder girdle moves.
Yeah,
It's a moving mechanism, so it's the same length.
your
It's just
collarbone adds length.
Your collarbone and your whole shoulder girdle. Let me find that. Did I do a demo on that on this file?
I was
I
thinking
guess
about
not.
like up here.
It moves.
Yes, it does move.
So it's going to end a little bit higher because look, you can do this. That's a mechanism that moves independently of your rib cage.
It's a clavicle, girdle, whichever. So for anatomy, I could potentially take a picture of myself and then trace the proportions.
Everybody has different proportions.
Yeah.
I wouldn't strictly recommend it.
And then another thing about the forearm is that the forearm is about approximately a similar length to your upper arm. So just make sure that and that are roughly the same size, and your hand is an afterthought. Not an afterthought, but like your hand is an extra. And then if you have like your arm pose that is in relationship to your head, or like if it's resting on your head like this, it's easier to tell like the more exact proportion. Whereas if you have like your hand going back in space, that's going to be foreshortened, so it's going to appear shorter. So that's a little bit more difficult.
Drawing faster. Ferret Jesus. Do you have any tips on drawing faster and more efficiently? Well, efficiency comes from like less wasted movements. And then drawing faster a lot of the time will come from, again, less wasted movements. They're kind of in the same boat. Some people will take a really, really long time drawing. I don't really recommend you should necessarily try to draw faster, but I don't want to try to tell you what to do. If you want to draw faster, I would just say, number 1, draw more. Number 2, do time yourself. How many times are you undoing? Keep your hand off your keyboard. Don't even give yourself access to the undo button. A lot of the time drawing faster just comes from like knowing what you're doing in confidence.
Yep.
Right? So like draw a line. Drawing a line right the first time a little bit more slowly is faster than drawing the wrong line and undoing it 5 times really, really, really fast.
Real.
And so be very conscious of the movements that you're making, of the strokes that you're making. How many guesses are you making before you find the one that you want? Christine, I love the way you did your hair today.
Thank you, Ouchie. I was
Thanks.
just gonna respond to that, but I was gonna wait.
Thanks, I didn't.
Yeah, I kind of didn't. Sometimes,
It just happens.
yeah, sometimes I'll wake up and my hair will actually look better than when I brush it. My bangs will
does
actually look
look good
really
today.
good. Oh, thank you. My bangs will be all like this. Ooh, or like when I wake up, they'll look like really styled butterfly bangs. But then when I brush it, they're like. So I just
I love
decided.
the way you did your hair today. Thank you. I shaved last night. Nice and, well, maybe not smooth.
It is smooth for the most part.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, Dahlia. Do you offer payment plans for your art school? Yeah, you can DM us about that, but the sale is not on for the payment plan versions.
Yeah. No one warns you about the way bangs look when you wake up. How about to simplify and maintain quality? That will just come with like a lot of time of drawing. Like when you first start drawing, you can't exactly be super consistent with how you draw because your body's still trying to like learn. It just comes with a bunch of repetition.
The pecs do weird things when the arms go up. Not really. The pecs are like connected to the front of your humerus. So when you lift your arm up, it's actually the side that's facing away from the camera. So the pec will go up and it still connects to the front of the humerus. So it kind of like wraps over your arm.
Can we also get a tutorial on how to draw hair from a 3/4 and side view? 3/4 and side view. I guess I can cover some of that.
What about diversity in bodies? I would really recommend to learn more body types. Take live figure drawing classes, like live nude figure drawing classes. A lot of cities have them. They get all kinds of different models. They have like curvy models, they have very thin models, they have like older people. You'll learn, but everybody has like that base proportional. Everybody's proportional within themselves. And remember, as you put on weight and become plus size, your skeleton does not change. It's the outside
Like
parts.
layers.
Your bones don't grow or shrink. Not unless you get really old, then sometimes your bones will kind of deteriorate a little bit, but
Yeah.
yeah. Take live figure drawing classes and start with that basic proportion and you modify from there. Christina did a demo the other week with a more curvy figure. Where is it?
Was it this one? There it is.
So like she drew this figure and then she's like all she did was just add some curves on top, but it's that same base, your proportions, and by proportions your relative measurements, your top of your head to the bottom of your rib cage, they don't change. They don't change. They're the same. You put on weight, you take off weight, your proportions stay the same.
Yep.
It's more of those outside forms and stuff that change a lot.
Yeah. Dahlia says, can you go over shape language and their vibes? Like how different shapes have different feelings. And then Ferret says, I second this. I'd love to learn about shape language.
I'm always surprised when artists know the muscle names like, well, you're a doctor now. I'm not smart. It's just pure repetition. I've gone over the body so many times. I've taught anatomy. Christina's taught like 10 anatomy classes. Like she's taught anatomy so many times. I've taught anatomy probably half the number of times that she has.
And I'm still learning.
And
it.
I label them.
Yeah.
I label the muscles.
Exactly.
And
If you want to
I'm
like.
still learning. There's a bunch of like niche stuff like that I was learning, like the pectoralis, the median. What is it? The
Minor?
Pec minor. I was like learning which ribs they connect to and all that. Like there's a lot of niche anatomy knowledge that I think you learn if you're kind of like nerd out about it. But
Yeah. I mean, this is how I memorized
pure
anatomy.
repetition.
Yeah.
How do you learn the names of characters in video games, right? How do you learn the names of cities and streets in real life or in video games, right? Like, look at people who play GTA 5. They know every single street in the entire game. They know every alley. They know every little glitch. It's pure repetition.
Resident Miki and Dr. Ray AU? What's that?
I don't know. AU?
What AU?
I mean, sign me up.
Sure.
Every call out in CSGO. Exactly. Like, I played a lot of Tarkov, and I know a lot of different call outs and stuff in Tarkov. Not like some of the more recent maps like Lighthouse and stuff I stopped playing, but it's simply repetition. I second this. I love to learn more about shape language. We can talk about shape language. That sounds pretty fun.
What kind of shape language do you want to talk about? Like, do you mean in terms of characters? Do you mean in terms of like faces or hair or?
Generally speaking, making things pointier makes things feel more dangerous, and making things rounder makes things feel less dangerous. So if you have, I did a couple of character silhouettes recently. All right, here these are 3 different character silhouettes I did the other night. All
Very
right.
obvious, but.
What's up? Yeah, it's exactly. So here's some silhouettes that I did. All right, that have silly shape language. This person in the middle, I think they're more of like in my mind, I imagine more of like a punk rock, like a punk rock elf or something with a mohawk. And so you can tell that they're a dude, they have a big upper body, their shoes are kind of distorted. There's no internal detail at all, right? They've got this is the shape language here. Right? It's a big triangle, and you have another triangle on top. What's up?
Are squares good for neutral characters?
They're good for stability. I mean, what kind of a square? I would say, like, you could do a square.
And what do you mean by neutral? Do you mean like neutral personality
Yeah,
type?
like I don't really think there's such a thing as a neutral character.
Unless you mean like a motionless character. You know?
Right? This is like a rounded square. You could also have a square that's like,
Sharper.
yeah, that's like this. You could even have a square that's like this.
Oh, never even thought about that.
Like that's stable and a little bit more dangerous. So say we go like this, and then we carve, and we carve, and carve. A little bit less safe. Pretty dangerous, you know? You could even add like a diamond shape.
Neutral, like not cutesy and soft, but not rough and strong.
Again, I don't
really know.
I don't really know what you mean exactly.
If you mean like an average build, like it's not tiny, it's kind of like I don't know.
You know, you could do something like this.
Oh, that's fun.
You can add stuff to the ends.
That would hurt to step on.
But like shape language gets into a lot of theory, like a lot of kind of abstract concepts. And so like this guy right here looks stronger than this guy.
He does.
Like he just does, right? Because he's more built. Like the shape language kind of shows that. And I never added any internal details to these. These were literally drawn just like this. Right? I'm still thinking about the pose. I'm still thinking about like the contrapposto or like all that sort of thing. This guy's got like big long shoes.
Got very thin fingers too.
Yeah, very thin fingers. You know, we could curve the shoes up a little bit. Then maybe this one points towards us more.
So it's a bit shorter.
Yeah, so it's shorter.
Oh.
Like those are goofy shoes. I like those. Those work. That's so silly.
You can even do like
I'll switch it to you.
you can even do like these kind of shoes too. Whimsical.
Hey, the silhouettes, yeah. I don't do silhouettes very often. I should do them more.
Yeah. Can you show how to draw shoes from a front view and maybe high heels if you can?
Well, shoes Shoes is kind of broad.
It is very broad.
There's so many different kinds of shoes with so many different kinds of forms.
Yeah.
You know, Converse from a front view are going to look way different than like DC's or skateboarding shoes. Are going to look way different than cowboy boots. Are going to look way different than hiking boots. Are going to look way different than snowboard boots.
Yep.
Are going to look way different than, you know, Mary Jane's. So like you got to know what kind of shoes you're drawing because they all have different. They're all going to have different forms and shapes.
Yeah. Like high heels, I can definitely do.
No
like
cat, this chat is cooking. Huh?
Like if you want to draw high heels from a front view, you actually notice that your feet are actually taller. So when you don't have heels, your feet will be flatter and they'll kind of be more like a flatter triangle. But when you have a, you know, when you're wearing high heels, everything's lifted. So you actually see more of the front of your foot and then a little bit of your toe like this. So it actually elevates your legs a bit more. Now, what style of high heels? I don't really know what you want, but generally, if you're gonna do like bog standard pumps, those are gonna be pretty sharp towards the front, and they wrap around on the side. You won't even really see the heel very much. It's all gonna be covered. And then there's the kind where it's like, you know, platforms. That's gonna look different.
Do you guys review sketches / artwork? Occasionally we will. Occasionally in the Discord server we'll open up a channel.
You know, here's a different kind of high heel, which just has, you know, more straps and maybe a bit of a platform, maybe even longer platform. It all goes down into the shape language of your foot and of how the heel lands onto the ground. Like, is it going to be a graceful shape? Like a blocky shape are like boots that have like really chunky platforms that kind of like go like this. You know, these are like very extreme type of platforms. Right? But a more elegant one maybe has more S curves. And maybe you'll actually see more of an arch of the foot and a thinner heel. You know, I like drawing high heels. They're fun. They're a fun shape exercise. But it just depends on what kind you want. I've drawn a lot of heels. I've drawn a lot of shoes. In fact, let me just show you really quick. I do a lot of shoe studies in our anime art school. Right here, for example. This is just only a few. But, like, you do a lot of these. And you break them down. And you simplify them. And then once you do, like, over 100 heels, you'll be able to draw it very effortlessly. So, yeah.
When you do silhouettes, how do you combat large clothing, taking away from it, for example, a cape? A cape is part of the design. Your silhouette is the most powerful driving factor of a design. So you would include the cape. Like, look at Darth Vader, right? Like, his silhouette. It's like, silhouette is such a powerful driving factor of a design. A cape is going to influence your design so much you would include it in the silhouette.
Yeah. Like a cape.
And silhouette exercises don't account for everything. I would say there were actually there were some designs in the Art of Fallout 4 art book that a
lot of time capes will cover a lot of stuff.
There were some designs in the Art of Fallout 4 that really... They used like 2 values. They were like 2 value designs. I would recommend maybe doing something like that if you want to add a little bit more information to your characters. Oh, where are these? Here they are. Here's some examples of some random silhouettes that are 2 value. If you want to be able to design something out,
ooh,
with silhouette, but you don't want the cape to destroy your entire read, I would say probably do something with 2 values. But you'll notice, like whoever made these aren't my art. Whoever made these has really solid foundation, right? Like, they understand that this right here, this is a drop shadow. this is a piece of clothing that's going up like this, and it's casting a drop shadow down here. So all this is in shadow, and you see that that drop shadow is curved. So this is what we're talking about all the time on stream, right? Cylinder,
Oh, that's a deltoid. Okay.
drop shadow. Yeah, it's mimicking the deltoid is what it's doing. That drop shadow describes the form. So like, again, if you don't have foundation, it's gonna be really hard to do this. It's part of the reason that like pros work like this is because they actually have foundation.
Yeah.
You know, curves around, describes the form. So like you can tell whoever made this, they know anatomy, like to an extent. They know design pretty well. They're breaking it up. This is good stuff.
It actually makes it feel very simple and actually quite doable.
Yeah.
I like it. I didn't know that these were Fallout.
No, they're not. I don't know who these are. I was thinking more along the lines of Fallout.
Oh, I see.
Fallout Hawaii. It's probably like maybe like a fan project or something. I don't know.
Hi, Remy.
This is actually from the art book from Fallout 4. I remember these pages. Like this kind of stuff right here. 2 value.
That's sick.
This particular one. See, Art of Fallout 4. Lot of people do 2 value sketches for characters.
Oh, I forgot to talk about hair inside and 3/4. I'd say if you want to, it's more about silhouette. So I would say design your hair from the side and see how far your hair pops out. Like let's say your bangs are like this. And they gravitate, and they kind of slide over to the other side.
Yummy.
Yummy. And then maybe there's, some shorter hair strands in the back. Keep in mind that this is also in three-dimensional space. So when you're drawing this in a 3/4, you're basically like turning this in your imagination. So if I were to take this information, I'd basically just try to fill in the blanks. Like, okay, I know that my hair will come out from the scalp and it will go around to the side. And I want to try to match the hair from the side view to the 3/4. Maybe I'll push this out a little bit more.
Yeah. And by the way, this is really, 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 really strongly influenced by your ability to think in 3D.
Yeah.
Like, this is dimensional thinking at, like, not its peak, but, like, this
At its core.
At its core, this is dimensional thinking. You're thinking about overlaps, the style of the hair, the volume. I mean, there's so many exercises that people do to practice this specific thing. Like turnaround views. Wouter Tulp has some good classes on this sort of thing, like drawing objects from different directions.
And then when
Like
you're drawing from
thinking
the back.
proportionally.
Yeah. And this takes a lot of like understanding how hair works. Like, when your hair is like coming out from the back, generally there's going to be like some little sprouts. Sometimes some people have like a little swirl pattern in their hair, and that's how their hair likes to react. But this guy, he has like little sprouts coming out from the back. So I want to make sure that my back view also has that element, and so it feels like they're related to each other. Like that's going to help a lot. Is making sure that the shapes appear in the same kind of areas.
Couple good questions. Do you have help, or I'll answer this one first. Okay, do you have tips on how to keep your work flowy, especially with the arms and legs? Flow has to do with everything having a common purpose. When things that you draw are all combating each other and pushing against each other, it disrupts the flow. When things in your artwork work together cohesively towards a greater purpose, you have flow.
Yeah.
A gesture line, a line of action, is simply a visual representation of how the components of your drawing are working together, right? If you want a flowy drawing, the separate components have to feel like they're part of a whole. So like this pose that Christina's drawing, the whole thing feels like it has a greater purpose along this line. It's really difficult not to get caught up in details. You always want to go back and be like, does this piece feel like it's working cohesively? That gets into shape design and shape language as well. Ponytails high and low. When copying a reference, should I be looking at the values and drawing them as shapes, or imagining it in 3D, or both, or depends on the goal? I would say 100% it depends on the goal. One sec. 100%. 100% depends on the goal. And there's a great excuse, exactly, Lau, to draw Miki, because there was a question about ponytails.
Heck yeah.
So, for example, you can do a value study. You could do a form study, right? Like, you could draw the same thing. Like, I did a couple of Asaro head studies recently.
I haven't drawn Miki in a hot minute.
And, hold up. Okay, these are some Asaro head studies that I did yesterday. Here we go. I only looked at the shapes I was seeing. I didn't make a line work. I didn't make a grid. I didn't draw, I didn't construct at all. I only looked at the head and went, what is this shape right here? All right. And then I looked at another shape and I was like, what is this shape right here? And that was the exercise that I did. So this is not a head study. This is like a shape study for me.
Shape study.
So I was drawing this and I looked at this shape. And I went, this is not a head. These are shapes. And a lot of the time, you're going to see a shape and it's going to look like this. And you go, I need to draw this shape. And that's like the challenge. So that specific study that I did was just focused on shapes, and say, you know, you'll have a shape like this, and that's the shape you see, and it's on the side of the head or it's on the side of the outfit. So when I was doing this, and you'll also see, I'm working in a very, very limited value range. This is kind of like 1, 2, 3, 4. So what we got, the light, the next one, the next one, the next one. This is like a 4 value study, right? Of course, I have planes that are different values, but this is essentially a 4 value study. And all I tried to do was see the shapes, and it's a really good exercise that you can do.
You know,
right?
maybe that would also help a lot with oil painting.
Yeah, I want to get better. This shape, I'm like, what is this shape? Draw it. And like, you look at things for the shapes, you look at positive and negative spaces. That's one way you could do it. There's other ways. I could have gone and constructed this. So you come in here and you're just like, here's the cranium, here's the perspective, here's this coming back, here's the brow ridge, there's the side of the head. This is a great assignment. And so I mostly do construction. I mostly draw and think 3-dimensionally. So that's why I find this exercise really hard, is because I'm ignoring everything but shapes.
You're basically working in a way that is like not
Yeah.
what you're not what you're used to.
Yeah, I'm not used to it at all. And like, you can
fun.
tell, like, I've gotten a lot of these shapes wrong in here. I think the nose is coming too far down. Like, this to me looks a little bit too wide, just based on memory of the Asaro head. There's another plane in here. Probably goes like that. Like, this to me doesn't really capture the likeness of an Asaro head. This one does a lot more.
Do you always use a 6-7 method, or if the clothes are a pinch or compression points of clothing?
Where's that at? Do you always use the 6-7 method of clothes that are pinch? That's really just a diaper fold.
It's just
Like
a diaper
that
fold, yeah.
video was a meme to help remember the shape of a fold, but what it really is it's just a wrap going over a cylinder,
Yeah.
right? Here it is.
And you can use a lot of those too. I mean,
That's the shape. It's a wrap going over a cylinder, and it's just an easy way to remember it. You always using? Yeah, it's just a wrap going over a cylinder, and you can combine them. Like you could have a second one. Look.
oh look, there's one right here.
There's a second one.
Yep.
And here's the third one. Dang, we should have put that in the video. What the heck?
Crap, we should have done that. No, we should
We have to make a
done
new
that.
video now.
Yeah, we do.
Right? Look at that. That's sick, bruh.
Bro. 6-7-6-7-6-7.
Yeah, it's 6-7, 6-7, 6-7. But it's really just a wrap. Like this is more of like a diaper fold. I don't want to say it's a diaper fold because I don't think it's a true diaper fold.
It's like
It's not a true diaper fold because I don't think technically there's really two compression points. It's honestly just the way that a cylinder wraps around a form. Right? It kind of snakes around behind it. So it's a cylinder going over another cylinder. It's kind of similar to a diaper fold, but this is more like a train.
yeah, it's more like a train. It is more like a train, which is like this long, like flowy thing that comes out from the back of
Yeah.
the dress.
And so you can just come over here and add another one. You see this on the back of ladies' dresses sometimes, like this sort of thing, especially like wedding dresses and that such.
Mm-hmm. Saw both of your videos when the types of compression or pinch, but I always feel like I have to use reference. Yes, you do.
use
You should.
reference.
You should use
definitely
reference.
use reference.
You have to, because that's where you see it. You know, like I would use the reference to identify the folds. And then basically what you do is you draw on things from reference so many times that you're like, okay, I understand, like this is the pattern that these clothes go into and stuff. So that's the point of reference. It's not to never use reference ever again. It's what's the pattern? I've drawn so many of these. Oh, I know that when there's a fold like this happening, I use this fold and I know what it looks like, right? It's using reference is not like a sign of stupidity or anything like that.
No, it's
not.
great.
It's great. It's like
using
awesome.
Using reference is a better sign of intelligence.
Yes, not using reference is stupidity. Like if you have like no idea what you're doing and you have to like and you believe that you have to draw something without reference like that's not possible. Unless you have like photographic memory, which in that case, then
I've never seen someone with photographic memory who's necessarily a really great artist.
yeah.
I'm not really convinced photographic memory helps people that much in art. I could be wrong. Like maybe I'm just naive or ignorant about it. Never seen it. Like there's not just like this set of artists out there with photographic memory who are just like insane at drawing stuff. Like I just haven't
Yeah.
really seen it. Maybe if someone has that,
That'd be sick.
if someone has like a link to like a group of people with photographic memory who can just draw things flawlessly from memory, I'd love to be able to see it because I've never seen it. Like,
Yeah.
that'd be kind of crazy.
That would be really cool. I would love to study them. So, back to the thing on ponytails. So, I'm just doing this on a side because it's easier to see the ponytail. Like, when you're doing it from, like, a 3/4 or, like, a front, it's, like, kind of vague. So, I always like to go with something that's very obvious and then try to make it look like that same shape, just in a different view.
live.
What? The anvil?
This one.
Oh, yeah. There.
This one right here. And a lot of the time, by the way, you don't want a 1, 2, 3 read in an artwork. It was just a stream where I kind of explained it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need a 1, 2, 3 read necessarily. It's one way you can do stuff.
Yeah.
So Thursday.
So this is Colton's character Miki. Might as well draw her because I haven't drawn her in a hot minute.
Shapes is used a lot in watercoloring. Shapes is the only thing you have in any medium.
Yeah.
What medium can you work with that isn't shapes?
I don't know. Kind of have to work with shapes. Like graphical shapes, you know.
Just
So,
shapes.
yeah,
Anything.
shapes,
The
anything.
ear is a shape.
Yeah.
It's a hooked shape.
Yeah. So, key about ponytails is showing the wrapping lines. It's not just about the ponytail. It's also showing the journey of of the hair going into the ponytail. So this is really important. Don't miss it. Show the wrapping lines. This is a very obvious way to show wrapping lines in a sphere on the head. 3-dimensional form. And another thing about ponytails is that they'll actually have like a little bump. They'll have like a little loose area at the bottom right here. Now, I didn't design this very well. It's generally a little bit more attractive than that. It's because, you know, when you have a ponytail, there's going to be loose strands, but it adds to a very dynamic shape. So I like adding this little pooch, quote unquote pooch area right here. And then for the ponytail's an S curve, but it's not like, I mean, this is a great S curve, by the way, but it's not like a very stiff or very flat looking S curve. Like you want to exaggerate. Of course you can have a ponytail like this. I would try to think about this in terms of gesture first and then thicken it. So personally for me, I like to show my ponytail like really, really tight up in here first, and then I will loosen the S curve. That's a way I like to do ponytails. You can do it whatever way you want. And then once I'm satisfied with this gesture, I thicken it. So this part here is going to be very thick. Look at that width. And then towards the bottom, it tends to kind of taper and, you know, get a little bit thinner. So this will be my secondary shape. So now we have a very, very dynamic shape, graphic shape in general. There's no dimension yet. Now I go to step 3, which is adding dimension, which is what's the top side of the ponytail? What's the bottom side? How is it flipping? Like, are there strands that accentuate the form of the ponytail? Maybe there's some stray strands up in here and up in here. All these is just to show context of how messy or how, you know, clean you want your ponytail to be. Because not every ponytail will have these little stray strands here. There's more of like a messier ponytail. And you can always add extra, right? And then you basically do the same thing for like a mid-level ponytail. It'll just be lower on the head.
Mm-hmm.
Same concept.
A lot of follows.
Whoa.
L. Purple.
Purple.
Limix. Danielle. Soleil. Julie,
Soleil.
thank you for the follows. Alex. Ivan is alive. Gabelina. Leah. Danicus, thank you for the follows. For Halloween challenge, when submitting our characters, do we write anything with the picture? If you want to, I would recommend writing what you based it on.
Yeah. But it doesn't have to have a whole backstory or anything.
Yeah, I mean, anything you want us to know.
Mm-hmm.
If you write a giant paragraph, we're not going to read it live on stream, but it's totally fine if you write stuff. Appreciate and endorse you two for coming on live, taking time out of your days to teach us. I appreciate you taking your time out of your day to watch.
Yeah.
Because your time is the most valuable thing that you have, and if you're spending it with us, we really appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. And of course, if you want to continue to support us, you know, we have our anime art school, which is something that we've dedicated over like years.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to learn how to draw, if you want to learn the fundamentals of art, if you want to learn like figure drawing, there's a 12-week figure drawing class. There's a 14-week long clothing and costume drawing class. If you enjoy the education, if you like the teaching style, we have a very large online school. So if you like this style of teaching, if you find it understandable, we have an entire school.
Yeah.
And it's on sale right now. So using the code SPOOKY, you can take a picture of that. You go to our website.
You two also drew my OC Snowy. Snowy, was that the one with the white hair and the red eyes and the very pretty dress and the stuff? Or was that someone else?
Yeah, I mean, it's always nice to have a big resource that you can go back to anytime
Yeah.
to learn. Of course. Awesome. Thank you. Working on a Sona. Their hair is so hard for me. I saw a question. It said something like, where was it? For male ponytails, do you put the ponytail part closer to the neck? No, they're exactly the same.
No, they're all. This can.
It just depends on what you want to do.
Yeah.
Male and female hair, they're the same thing. They're
They're the same thing.
you tie them up the same way.
Like, I've seen guy
you just
ponytails.
put it on a male head instead.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, there may be different styles that people tend to put their ponytails in culturally if they are male or female. But fundamentally, it's the same principles. She was a cat girl with light blue hair who sparkles and bright pink eyes.
Okay, I feel like I might remember that one. Okay, maybe there was another character that's also named Snowy, so I was confused. Yeah, like, you know, here's like a short ponytail or long ponytail, whichever one. I mean, like, just look at what was that one guy from Genshin, the red hair with the ponytail. I don't exactly remember.
What is your brush?
Brush. Here you go.
You can get it here. It's the link in the description.
Mm-hmm. Diluc? Yeah, that guy. Yeah, he has a ponytail, but like that guy's ponytail literally looks free. The same. It is free, yes.
The brush is free, by the way. Mm-hmm. Free download. You don't have to pay for it. It's just a Google Drive download.
But like this guy has a ponytail that would fit up for both guy and a girl. It's just on a guy face, you know. So here I'm drawing a guy face with a ponytail. Same concept.
The brush is peak. It is. It is peak.
Now I can't draw a hot guy in like under a minute, so this will have to do.
And now the tablet's going to be delivered tomorrow as well.
Of course.
All of it delayed. Everything I ordered yesterday is delayed, and now it won't get here until tomorrow. What a disappointment.
They always do that. At this point, it's like a trap. Like, how do we keep following
every single time you order something, they're just like, oh, it's going to be arriving. Just kidding, tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Actually, the next day. But wait, we lost it. Sorry.
Oh, well, we won't give you a refund or anything. Oh, maybe they do, but...
I mean, they do.
Yeah, they do.
But... Now you've had you're a week or two without the thing you needed. Looks slow. Oh, we don't do drawing requests of existing characters.
Nah.
We teach art. We teach art, and we focus on that. We don't really draw any requests that people come in the chat and ask about. My current iPad was supposed to arrive in 2 weeks, and it took 2 months.
Oh, no.
Is a brush for Procreate only? No, it's an ABR. It'll work in anything that accepts ABR files.
Yep. So Photoshop, Clip Studio, those will work great.
Photoshop, Procreate, Clip Studio, probably a couple of others. You just type up, does your drawing program work with ABR files, and you'll learn the answer.
Mm-hmm.
I stopped looking for brushes after that Ultimate Brush Pack. It has everything I want and need for real.
Was that from
Show again, I forgot to screenshot? Sure.
This?
Yep. That's our website, by the way. All of our stuff's on there. Discord invite, classes, social media, our 2 books, all that kind of stuff. Thank you. I don't know how to say your name. Behi. How do you say your name exactly?
Yeah, how do you say it?
How would I pronounce it? You teach art in a great way. Really appreciate it.
Are you new here, by the way?
We are doing. Huh?
You guys try to make a manga? I would love to.
Eventually we're going to.
Love your website. Thank you, Duke.
Now we're pretty busy with our current stuff. We haven't started on a manga.
Yeah. Still have some
loose ends. We published 2 books.
Yes, actually.
And we built an online school. And right now we're building our social media. We're trying to get our TikTok to 200,000 followers. We've been building our Instagram and YouTube. But not a manga yet.
Nope.
Definitely in the future, though.
Mm-hmm. So yeah. We also create 2 books. There's also How to Draw Manga, which also has a bunch of nice tips on anatomy, clothing, drawing, faces.
I have a question. How many people here in the chat have seen this book cover before? Anybody? Like out in the wild.
Just out in the wild, like in libraries or
on
like
Amazon
bookstores.
or online or whatever. Like, how many people have seen this in the wild?
In the wild. Not
Like
on
in the wild, not like on our stream, but in the wild. Me, I have no. Because I'm just wondering, like, it's so difficult to know.
Green Number. Where did you find it?
I might have seen it somewhere before on Amazon. Uvia says I own it. Nice, awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, definitely a lot of people here that have it. I live in a village, so lonely and nothing to do. You could be the protagonist of an anime. I come from the village. Eh?
What's that for?
I own as well. Nice.
I've seen someone in my job.
at my job with it.
Oh, really?
Who's it by? It's our book. We published it.
Ours.
We are the authors.
Yeah, and we published 2 of these.
And this is book number 2 as well.
Yep.
Me online after searching for art books.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's Anime Academy How to Draw Manga.
Yes.
And book number 2 is Anime Academy How to Draw Characters. Those are our books. Those are our OCs on the cover. And
Yep.
we teach about drawing
Design,
characters and stuff.
body types, aging cycle. I mean, hey, teenager body types, adult body types, anatomy.
This is very understandable.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. We worked really hard on them.
Yeah.
They took about a year each of work. Yeah, I'm just kind of curious, like, who's seen them. We don't really talk too much about our books. We occasionally will. Sometimes we just get so tired on stream that we just teach from the book.
Yeah.
Like, how do I draw hair? Well, we need like an FAQ book, you know?
We do need an FAQ book or FAQ video.
Is it on Amazon only? Yeah, right now. When did you make it? We published book number 1 in, what, 2022?
Yeah.
And I published book volume 2 a year or 2 later, 2023. I don't know. What is the?
What is it?
2023. So this book got published in the beginning of 2023. And by us, here we are. You can see us on the back.
Mm-hmm.
Colton and Christina.
Unfortunately, the chickens have passed, but
Yeah, every one of those chickens is dead, by the way. It sucks.
it does kind of suck. They were so cute when they were younger.
Hey, they live in a wild world.
You see a little
It
inside
was
the book.
recommended on Pinterest under anime. Rosie.
Really?
If you see that again, can you screenshot it and show it to me?
Yes. So this is just the inside of book 2.
I can guarantee you these are stolen and uploaded all over the internet. They're pretty popular how to draw books.
Yeah.
So the only way you can get these from us right now is from Amazon. If you see them for sale somewhere else, we're not the ones selling them. So we're not earning anything from it. Someone else is basically stealing our books and profiting off of them.
Yeah.
It's inevitable. Like, it happens with every single book. It's a plague.
It's basically like a losing battle.
Even on Amazon, a bunch of authors will have their books stolen and put on Amazon again, and then people will buy it from the person who's not actually the author as well. I remember David Goggins was talking about his book, like Can't Hurt Me or something.
Oh, yeah?
He literally has lost millions of dollars because of people who are stealing his book, selling it on Amazon. Wow. And it's ranking higher than his version of the book. And everybody buys it there. And he's like tried to contact them and they can't do anything.
That's ridiculous.
It happens so much. And the chickens are dead.
Yeah.
It's been years. Chickens
It has been years.
died. They were my parents' chickens. Follow on YouTube. Yay, now I follow TikTok. Awesome, welcome.
Thank
I got
you.
mine from Amazon. Awesome. Yeah, the links to the books are on our linky in bio. But we love teaching, honestly.
I do enjoy teaching.
I think it's stupid that people are profiting off of our hard work, but I mean, the people who are buying it from an illegitimate place, they're still getting the education. In fact, classes that we have online, I mean, some of them like take and modify the book and like remove us from it, but that's why we embed our characters in the books.
Yep. It's because they can't create them, but
Like,
we can.
we make the books with our brand so deeply embedded that you simply can't remove it from the book. That's how we approach it now. Like, that's why personal brands are actually so safe. It's like if you follow Sam Does Art, there's like you can't make a knockoff of Sam Does Art and people think it's him. Like if you have a faceless brand, people can steal your content and sell it somewhere and nobody would know. But if you are the brand, if your face is the brand, how can people steal that? It's much, much more difficult.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why Christine and I are going more in the direction of this. You know, and we realized through streaming that us being the face of our brand, even though I don't really want to that much, it's just the smarter choice.
Yeah.
It's just the smarter choice. And people who steal, they always have to steal. People who create, they're like the trailblazers.
Mm-hmm.
They're making content. Everybody else is just copying it. So you're always first because you're making something original.
That's why I'm not as worried when people like, I guess, steal my art. Cause I'm like, well, they can't create it. I'm the only one that can create my artwork, you know.
They didn't get the practice from it.
Nope, they didn't. They just get the clout, which is fake anyways,
Well,
you know.
it's also about the trajectory. It's like you are headed somewhere, they are not.
Yeah.
And so it's not that it doesn't bother me, it's kind of just self-defeating. Like they're
Yeah.
always scraping the bottom.
They are kind of always scraping the bottom.
What your rabbit's name? We don't have
We don't
rabbits.
have any
Those
rabbits.
were chickens.
Yeah.
But, you know, we've been thinking about launching new live classes. Who would be interested in that?
Yeah.
If we launched like another anatomy class or figure drawing class or like anime drawing class, maybe even like a perspective class. Who would be interested?
I think perspective class would be great.
Who would be interested if we ran another set of live classes on Saturdays? We're kind of a little bit late to the fall term. I thought they were rabbits.
Grid says, oh, absolutely.
This will be our third time running live classes. Can you show how to draw boys' hair?
Boys' hair? There's a lot of boys' hair.
I'm pretty scared to post my art. There are amazing artists out there, so it's difficult to post. Just post because you like art.
Yeah.
Like, if everybody had that mentality, the only people who would ever post are the number one best artists in the world because everybody feels that way. Post because you enjoy making art. And I need that advice as well.
I need that advice too. I just need to post my art too. What program are you using? This is Procreate?
I want a character design class. Thank you, Luki.
I feel like, Colton, you're very qualified to teach a character design class. What was it with those anime eyes that were like really like kind of rectangular? Like that.
My anime faces got better by watching you guys under a year.
Wow, under a year, huh?
Is possible lighting, shading?
Oh, Dahlia, you don't have to. Save some for yourself. Save some for yourself. Oh, thanks. How do you pronounce your name? Behie-san? Behie? I don't know.
How do you even get used to Procreate? You get used to something by putting in hours.
Yeah.
Like, that's the way. Like, how do you get used to driving? You drive. How do you get used to drawing? You draw. How do you get used to anything?
You do it.
You do it. Like, you do it. Like, that. The number one thing is you do it. You can't get used to something without doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you feel like you're blind, fumbling through the darkness, you're successfully doing it because that's how everybody feels. Like, that is literally how it feels. Blind, fumbling through the darkness. It's the best feeling, honestly. It's a great feeling. Like, And just know that, like, if you feel like you're blind and fumbling through the darkness, so does everyone else. It never really goes away either. Like,
Yeah.
and you don't no longer feel like you're blind. You just get used to being blind, and you learn to kind of enjoy it. It's fun. Like, it's fun learning things and not knowing and all that kind of thing. And like the sooner, and like I would just say, like, the sooner that you accept the reality, that as the reality, it's like the sooner you can kind of just get on with your life and move forward with stuff. It sucks because, like, a lot of people don't like that, and I feel like a lot of people take like drawing courses and are just like, well, if I take this class, then I will no longer feel like I'm blind. It's not true. Like, you're always
still
going to
gonna
go
feel
through a period where you feel like you're completely blind and just fumbling through the darkness. It's just now you have a map by someone who's trusted, that has guided other people through the darkness.
Yeah.
I have aphantasia. One of my best friends, he's an art director at a really, really big studio. He has aphantasia. He's extremely good at art. He's an art director for concept art. I actually know a number of people with aphantasia. Who is that guy that worked at Disney with aphantasia?
I don't know who.
Was Glenn Keane?
I think
Did
it
he
was
have-
Glenn Keane, actually. Yeah, maybe.
Dahlia says I also have aphantasia.
Really? I didn't know
I didn't know
that.
that, Dahlia. What's this Dahlia lore we're learning about? Yeah, there's loads of incredibly successful artists with aphantasia. So if you feel like it's something that it's like a reason that you can't, like, you can for sure. Miko, you know, that is kind of a fun art style, isn't it?
I know it is. It's kind of
What are
nostalgic.
What do those even look? How do you even do that?
Whoa, Vanquisher
Vanquisher.
with the
What's all this?
$10 super chat.
Who's Vanquisher?
Are you new? That is crazy.
Welcome. Vanquisher with the $10 super chat. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Can we get some W's in the chat?
Oh, good night, Becky. I'll just go call you that because I don't know how to pronounce it. W. What's the sound effect for super chat?
I really just
Where
like
this-
doodling away with no exceptions. That's great. I love hearing
Yeah.
that. W Vank.
It's this style. Clannad style.
Yeah, it's kind of is like Clannad. Bro, they're so, like, they look so crazy. The heck is my amazing brush? Here it is.
And same thing with this one right here.
Are you
It's
not
got that
showing
light.
it?
Oh, oops.
Did you even show the Clannad
I did not
one?
show the Clannad one. I
This
was,
is like, oh, it's this.
well, I'll show it to you personally.
Oh.
It's this style right here that I'm trying to draw.
Oh,
Or
that's-
kind of trying to emulate.
That's wild.
I never, like, anime just had this kind of weird era where all their styles just looked like this. I don't know why. Maybe, like, some artist really popularized it, but, like, I remembered almost all of, like, the how to draw anime books just had this style. It is cute.
It is cute.
It is cute. It's just very,
Interesting.
Yeah.
And it was like this phase.
it was a phase that nobody ever talks about anymore.
I
Like,
guess we're
yes, there's like
talking
the
about it.
80s animes,
That's
but then there's
weird.
like the early 2000s anime style, like Nightcore vibe. And I don't know what this is. That is what I would be like. I would actually ask the question, what's the style called? But it's like whatever.
I
It's
have
the
no
style.
clue.
Like, let me see. I did like this style right here. I remember watching this as a kid, and I just loved the style, but I hated the story because it just
That's like kind
betrayed
of.
me. It
That's like kind of.
I feel like this is like the more modern version of it.
Yeah, it's like a little bit evolved.
I remember you used to draw hair like that, like used to shade hair like that, Colton. Kind of, at least.
Who, huh?
You kind of used to shade hair with like that strip. I remember in your old Miki pieces.
Yeah, maybe I did. I don't remember.
Clannad is my comfort anime, even though it's so sad. Aw.
Yeah, it does look like a girl in the anime Dr. Stone. What was her name? The blonde.
Kohaku?
Kohaku, yeah. She kind of does have that.
Really? I didn't know.
Yeah, people were just like talking about it online. I saw it one
Oh.
time. Wow, so I was so excited. And now I'm not even getting the thing today.
Oh.
Bruh.
Who are you drawing? I'm drawing one of our characters. Her name is Miko. Oops. And she is a girl who can communicate with animals. She's a very sweet girl, and her sister is Miki, and they are both on the covers of our books. So this is Miko right here, and then this is her sister Miki, which is Colton's character, and then we have a whole bunch of characters inside here too. And there she is again. There she is again. Dr. Stone is pretty fire. I remember watching a bit of it, but we never really continued it.
We basically just watched season 1. I don't think we watched like the last episode of season 1, did we?
We didn't? I thought we did.
I remember there was some war that was supposed to happen, but we never really watched very much of it. I don't remember. It's been years.
Here we go. That's cute. I very much enjoy kind of older styles too. I mean, I draw mostly in like a more modern anime style, but that's just because when I draw characters, I kind of want them to look like they're like from an anime, so that's why I guess I draw that style. And it's also a very comfortable style for me to draw. But I actually really do appreciate these styles as well.
Any tips for drawing the wrist? Kind of a weird one to kind of again. The wrist is kind of like a box.
Yeah.
So like drawing the wrist. So the upper arm is kind of more like a cylinder, and the lower arm is more like a box. I really do recommend boxing off the wrist. You don't have to show the box like I am, but implying it can be enough. And then the hand kind of comes out like a box as well. So you can sort of do like that. Right? So this would be like that. You can, or you can, let's see. We could do thumb. Like that. So it's like, this is very cylindrical, and this kind of comes into more of a box. There's a lot of breakdown. If you go through like Gottfried Baum's anatomy book, if you go through Bridgman, pretty much every single anatomy and figure drawing source out there turns the wrist into more of a rounded box. Like this, right? And then it goes into more of like a cylindrical shape. Our teacher, our oil painting teacher, he called it more of like a barrel.
A barrel, yes.
Yeah. And then of course the hand is kind of like a wedge shape, like this.
Bye, Katsua.
Have you ever noticed, chat, that the palm of your hand is bigger than the back of your hand? Like, look at it, right? You go, oh.
It is
crazy.
It is
It's
kinda
because
bigger.
the palm of your hand's kind of shaped like this. And then your wrist is kind of like this. And your fingers come off, and they'll be like this, right? Sort of like that. It's kind of like that. Didn't quite draw it right. I ran into this other drawing, didn't I? Sort of like this. Storyboarding tips. I've taken a storyboarding class. Storyboarding, I would really recommend taking classes on it. It's all about communication. It's not about drawing pretty. It's about communicating. If you're a storyboard artist, your job is to make sure that the shot that's in the show is effectively communicated.
Yeah.
That's like your entire job, is what's going on clear. Am I communicating this effectively? And then I took a storyboarding class by some lady who was a storyboarder at, I don't remember where she worked, for a bunch of different places. Like, she was probably at like Netflix at the time. But she just spent the entire class talking about communication, and all of her critiques on all of the work that people did was like, can we make this more clear? Can we make this more, like, how do we show what's going on more? But I'm not a storyboard artist. Do you use draw through and industrial design techniques for anatomy studies, or is it more intuition? I would say both. I like breaking the body down analytically.
I know that with some storyboarding stuff, like they will show you what are the most common camera angles or scenes, like for instance, or what kind of shots are very common. There's like, you know, close-up headshot, which is just focusing on the head. Then there's, you know, from head to shoulder shot, or head to torso, kind of bust shot like this. Then it gets further away, and then you go from the head to the hips, head to hips, then head to knees, and you know, overall, like they'll also show like different parts of the landscape. Like this is great. Extreme close-ups are great for very dramatic effects. And as you zoom out, you know, it's more like environment focused.
Yeah, and there's like the wide lens, the ultra wide.
Yeah.
And then there's like different angles of each. You can do like a close up from below.
Yeah.
Or a close up from above. And there's like bird's eye and there's top down. Learn these types of shots.
Here's extreme close up. Here's close up.
I thought it was purely because of the webbing. Yeah, that's what makes the palm of your hand and the back of your hand different sizes. I mean, I'm talking about like the size of it, not whether this is just skin or it's muscle or whatever bone. I'm talking about like what you actually draw.
Yeah.
Well, the best way, easiest draw a torso.
Easiest way to draw a torso?
Torso. I did some. Where the heck were those torsos I drew earlier? Oh, here's some.
Where's the one that's missing? Oh, you got it.
I put it on the lady. In my opinion, the easiest way to draw a torso, and by the way, whoever asked about like breaking things down like industrial design, this is some stuff that I did other day on stream. And I think both, like do a bunch of gesture drawing and focus on the flow and everything. But if you want to learn anatomy, like this is all like a volume drawing, right? Like I'm focused very heavily on like 3-dimensional volumes of things, right? Wrapping lines.
Mm-hmm.
So like you can see like these pieces are being put together. They're very dimensional. They focus a lot on dimension and the 3-dimensional aspect and everything. These are like little studies that I do on stream. But torsos, I really would recommend breaking down, like learning a good breakdown of the torso is basically just like you've got essentially 2 boxes. Here we go. And then we can throw in contrapposto, which is the opposing angles of the upper and lower body, or like the rib cage and the pelvis, right? There's contrapposto. Then with this 2-dimensional shape, you can do this. You can do this. You can twist it. You can twist it this way. You can pretty much do anything with that. So like here's an example of those, right? Like the twist, the bend. Although I actually took this one and put it on this lady, which is why it's missing. So this one should be more like this.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. You know, this might come out a little bit. This is like a pretty good breakdown for the volume of the torso. And then you can add anatomy on top of it, because once it's like correct proportions, You could go, pectoralis.
Do these tips only help artists with an anime style or no?
This is
This
real
realistic.
anatomy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not drawing in an anime style right now.
But it will work for any kind of art. really.
Serratus anterior, right? Abdominal muscles, external obliques. Here's your 3-finger gap, pelvis. Dahlia,
With a $5 super chat.
when you guys do live class again, will there be a discount for people at Anime Art School again? Also, everyone buy Anime Art School; it's the best. I'm not sure. We haven't talked about it yet. Maybe. Thank you so much, Dahlia. Can we get some W's in the chat for Dahlia with the $5 super chat? Right? Can bring the arm out. This is the deltoid. Opening of the rib cage. Trapezius. So, like, this is what you would build a torso on top of. This simple framework. Like that sort of thing. Yeah, I'm not drawing in an anime style at all right now.
But you would use these for anime style.
Yeah.
I use it all the
This
time.
comes towards you. If this goes away from you, right? Maybe we have the bicep on top. Or this could be going away. Maybe you make it go away. So if I were to make this going away, the first thing I would do is I would draw that simple volume going away. And I'd go, there's the deltoid, right? Maybe the pectoralis is actually pulling back more. The bicep, that separation, you might see a little bit of the tricep back here.
Okay.
Right? So, but I would very first start with that simple volume to tell me where my form is going. And then I know, the bicep connects, or the tricep, I should say. Wait, what am I talking about? The deltoid. My mind's not working. Connects
really
to the top,
happens.
right? And it connects like this because the deltoid connects to your clavicle and it connects to your scapula and it kind of hooks around like this and then it goes and it connects to the top of your arm, your humerus, and then the pectoralis connects here and down to your chest. And so your scapula, your clavicle, your deltoid.
Dolly says, I thought the circle was a tiny head for a second.
Which circle this?
That. Oh, funny. And then Krantz says, now I can't unsee it.
Yeah, for sure. Well, bodybuilders look like little people coming out of anchor arms from SpongeBob.
It's so funny.
Like, the traps are the shoulders.
I think the same curvature.
Right? Here's the shoulders, but then you've got
Your extra, the actual shoulders.
deltoids. And this is the clavicle, Chromian process. They look like this. Big buff bodybuilders. So like the little person is coming out and then you're like, oh, here's the pectoralis, deltoid. It literally looks like that too.
That's so funny.
Oh, it's wild. It's wild stuff. And they're like, zoop. So you like take them out, right?
And there's just another human inside.
Yeah, and they look like this.
Oh no. Skinny. Do you do this kind of construction even in extreme deep perspective?
Extreme deep perspective? You mean like fisheye and stuff? No, like, I mean, you can for sure, but you'd absolutely start off with like this kind of stuff. Like if I'm drawing in a really extreme perspective, I'd probably want to do like simplify the head maybe into that. Simplify the torso maybe into like this. Whoa. There it goes. I'm learning how to not use Control T. I would really simplify it into this kind of thing. First, or we could even have like, here's maybe like the hand, right? Or maybe we'll have the hand like tilted a little bit. Don't mind me almost putting the thumb on the wrong side.
Where were we gonna put it?
Over here.
Oh. Because when I do figure drawings, I'm trying to figure out how to draw the same pose from different angles. Whoa. Sausage fingers.
I'll just do that. You know, you can pull this down and be like, whatever. You can have this come up. I don't really like this. I'm just gonna erase it. Right, I would certainly pull it out like this first, and I would not go into deep anatomy until I get this sorted. This is big stuff though, right here, chat. This is big stuff.
Big stuff.
Yeah, I don't even draw these like enough. Like this is like literally like I can't even draw them as extreme.
It's a flesh mech.
It is a flesh mech.
Muscle mech.
It does look like that though a lot of the time. But like when I'm drawing this, usually I'll draw a box like this, right? Like if I'm drawing a box, I'll draw it like this a lot of the time. If I'm drawing someone in extreme perspective, I'm drawing the box like this. Let's do like the same box. Maybe like this. Right? I'm drawing this and I'm distorting the perspective a lot more. My vanishing points are way closer. Right? My vanishing points for this box are way closer. My vanishing points for this box are way further. So by making a box that has the vanishing points a lot closer, like an extreme amount closer. You know, you could even go like this. Right? You've just made the lens way wider, and so this person's way closer to the camera. If I'm making the vanishing points literally like this close, my object is so stinking close to the camera, which is like what I would do with this.
Do you not do a gesture in extreme perspective?
I mean, you can. Like, you definitely can. This is just one way to start. If I'm drawing, like, extreme perspective, usually... Like, that's how close my vanishing point is.
Close.
That's how close my vanishing point is. Literally right here. Why? Why is it so close? Because if I were to draw like a fisheye grid, you know, I'd come like this. This is 180 degree field of vision, right? Here's my perspective lines in a 5-point fisheye grid. Here's Z in the center. If I have someone really, really, really close to me, they're going to fill up a lot of this circle. So my vanishing points are going to be really close. Like maybe the person's head. Actually, let's bring them down here even. Here's another vanishing point. Goes around like this. Let's put some more. All right. So we're like looking down and there's like a city here maybe. And so, you know, we get someone's head and it's big. It's like this big.
Whoa. Or
even maybe like this big.
Oh, so you're using vanishing points? Never thought that. Always wondered how to do perspective.
Right? My vanishing point for this box is here. It's right next to it.
Would vanishing point be same for anime? Yep.
Yeah, I mean, perspective is perspective is perspective.
Mm-hmm.
We have an old stream thumbnail. I could find it really quick. Let's see what Christina's working on. Thumbnails. Here it is. This is the same grid that was used for this thumbnail here.
Look at that.
Like you can see, this is it. This is the character.
Spiderweb equals perspective grid. It's a fun way of looking at it.
You know, your boxes would go like this away from you. Oops. This is your vanishing point. If I drew a box here, right, it would be like this. If I drew another box, it would be here. Draw a box down there.
I hate drawing crossed fingers like this. It's so annoying. Are you doing only perspective or can I ask other questions? Yeah, you can ask other questions. But right now we're doing perspective, so if you have a question on perspective, it'll probably be easier to cover pretty soon. Just so it's on the same topic. Ooh, very nice.
And if there's another person and they're back here, they're literally going to be so much smaller. They're going to be like that.
Crazy.
I mean, it depends how far away they are, but like, you know, you could have something like that.
Thank you, Xanth and 2 Slime, for the follow.
I need to do more of this kind of stuff.
Heck yeah. I like your that pants study. Looks good.
This?
Yeah.
It's just over top of that proportional base. Like that's really what gives it its vibe.
Mm-hmm.
I just look for those main folds. Triangle here. Downward facing plane. If you find that your drawing, you don't know how to make it more detailed, focus on improving the silhouette. So like that, right?
Oh, okay.
Helps a lot. You can almost always go back and work on the silhouette. And I'm not doing the same torso shape as her.
Oh, someone was asking earlier what the name of the chill song is.
Oh, I don't know.
It's just a collection of songs from Epidemic Sounds.
Yeah. Can add a little gradient to it. You know, good little study.
Mm-hmm.
Do 25 of them. You'll get way better at drawing clothes. Way better at drawing clothes.
Yep. Aussie Girl and Draken's Rose, thank you for the follow. How do you draw? We actually did draw some front-facing shoes earlier. I would break it down similar to like a front of a box. With shoes, it's like slightly tilted down. I mean, it is hard to draw a shoe from the front because there's a lot of foreshortening involved with like.
You're not even on.
Oh, oops.
There.
So like, if I were to draw a front of a shoe, I'd be like, okay, this is the front of my box. Here's the top of my box, and it of course depends on if this is like a high heel or something that's a bit more like flatter on the ground. But that's what I would essentially think of. Like, and then I would fill in the details. Like, what is the front of the shoe? What does it have? Does it have lace? And if so, I want to make sure that my lace wraps around the top of the box. Here's the tongue. And of course, these are like rounded forms. So they're not like complete boxes, but you would think about the box with shoes. Now this is like a dumb looking shoe, but I mean, it gets the point across. Here's the front side. Here's the sole of the foot, or of the shoes. Here's how it wraps around. And I would just say have like reference, of course. That will help. Which is better, gesture drawing or practicing form and perspective? Depends on what you want to do, because like gesture drawing, if you practice that, it's more based on like flow. But wait, if you're doing like form and perspective, that will enhance different kinds of skills. Like, which part do you want to learn? Do you want to learn how to be more flowy, or do you want to learn how to be more structured?
Do both.
Yeah.
Like they're both really important.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on what your goals are, though. Like, certainly both are really important.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm the one drawing this picture. Side profile tips. Choo Choo, there's actually a few side profile TikToks that we have, and how to change it as well as a proportion. So you can actually check those out, Kingsley and Choo Choo. They're both on our TikToks. They're actually like one of our latest videos. So if you go on our profile, you'll see them. Yeah, a lot of people ask very similar questions, but it's just because it's a hard thing to draw, right? You have to think about the head dimensionally and stuff. So it's definitely one of those questions that people have trouble with, or one of those topics that people have a lot of trouble with. I need more of the song. I agree. It's a very jazzy song. I'm a total beginner. I really want to learn anatomy. I've been practicing rotating squares. Any advice? Do you mean rotating boxes?
Rotating squares? Like the shape?
Or do you mean like boxes? The form? I mean, rotating boxes is definitely a great way to learn how to break down torsos and stuff.
Boxes, huh? I mean, if you're trying to learn anatomy, study anatomy, if you're trying to learn how to draw better, like, I think rotating boxes is pretty good for dimensional drawing.
Yeah. Well,
What are your goals?
I'll just show you a process that includes boxes if you want to continue that route.
Process?
What? Rotating boxes and stuff for anatomy?
Yeah, what's the process? Where is it?
Just this process.
Oh,
Like fitting it in.
yeah.
Yeah. Like,
I would totally had no idea what you were gonna bring up.
oh.
What are you gonna do?
I would say rotating boxes is great because it's part of the torso, but also understanding the proportions of the boxes, like the rib cage box and the pelvis box. Like, here's boxes in different rotations. And then I just connected them and turned them into basic forms and then turned them into a body. I would first learn the proportion if you're drawing people, right? Because you got to know that. And then fitting volumes into the same proportion, and then adding anatomy on top. So anatomy actually comes last. I would say it's kind of the, I guess, least important of the three.
Like
Because,
detailed
like-
anatomical information.
Yeah.
Being the muscles, their specific volumes. It's really not that important.
Yeah.
For getting a character looking like a character.
It just looks fancy. That's all. Like, it's just fancy. But I would more rather you guys do this because you can always add anatomy on top later. So yeah, this is the process, and we cover this in our anime art school as well. So yeah, I'm having so much fun on the 7 Deadly Sweets OC. Nice.
great.
That's gonna be really fun. So for people who are new here, we are doing a Halloween stream on the 31st. And we do have a little drawing challenge on the Discord channel, which is 7 Deadly Sweets. So if you want to participate, have your art shown, and we review it for the challenge, you can join our Discord server. It is on our linky, right in there.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Big, long stream right on Halloween.
Yes.
Reviewing all of these submissions, reacting to them, having a good time. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah. It's crazy how much foundation can really help you change styles. Like, I've never drawn in this style really before, but it becomes way easier when you know that core foundation and perspective, and that's not what I wanted. I always hate when that happens. Okay, that's closed. What colors would look good with white, dark gray, and muted red?
Kind of any color. You're pretty free.
Yeah.
It's more of a... What is a muted gray? Because gray is just gray, right?
And it is pretty muted already. Do you mean like a low value?
Like, if it's... You just mean neutral gray? Dark... Oh, no, it's not muted gray. It says dark gray.
Oh, dark gray. Muted red. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oops.
Any color, literally any. That's only one color. White is not really a color. Dark gray is not really a color. Muted red is your only color. So I would say literally any color would work with that. You could add yellow. You could add, like, the other two are just values.
Yeah.
Dark gray and white are values. The only color is actually a muted red. So you could add any other color, and as long as it's integrated, you get away with it. Yellow, totally fine. Blue, that'd work great. Purple, totally fine.
Yep. I would say, what are you trying to show with your colors? Are you trying to show, like, what kind of vibe?
Yeah.
Certain colors will match with other colors depending on their vibe too.
Yeah. But like, it's impossible to give feedback without knowing what the intention is.
Yeah.
We'd have to see the character itself, and then really I'd only be able to give suggestions. But I'm not going to be looking at any character art today from users.
The OC is a Jester kind of vibe.
A lot of different color palettes for jesters.
Yep.
It doesn't narrow it down a lot.
Yeah. Because
If
there's.
you're going for more of like a historically accurate jester, then I would look up some palettes for that sort of thing. But like, I mean, look, isn't Pomni a jester?
Yeah, Pomni is like red,
and blue.
I thought there was a bit of yellow in there too, was it?
Probably.
Maybe, but mainly red, and
blue,
blues.
white.
Red, blue,
red,
white.
blue, yellow, white. But like, if you look at jester costumes from the past, I think a lot of them are what, like red and green.
Yeah, like very loud colors.
It's totally.
I mean, you can even do. And you know, you don't even have to. I would say white. Was it? White, dark gray, and muted red is actually already good because
yeah,
it's
you
3.
don't have to add any colors.
Yeah.
Well, 2 of them are values.
Oh, that's right. 2 of them are values.
But that's totally fine. You could have a monochromatic piece.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of a hard question to answer.
It's more personal preference.
Yeah.
Almost entirely personal preference. And I don't really want to art direct someone else's work if it's a challenge.
Oh my gosh. That's very.
What?
That's that vibe.
Does
Just
it?
that darker color like that. I don't know. I just feel like it fits the vibe. I do like this color. It's kind of like a caramel color.
I feel like you should bring the eyes to a further level so people can look at it while you
know, that
your
is-
hair and stuff.
That is true. I got too excited with the
It can be nice eye candy to look at.
eye candy. Hint, hint. I have very saturated shadows.
Pink, very pink.
Very pink. Like, maybe not that much, but...
Paler and pink. Almost like that a lot of the time.
Yeah. This is cute. I was looking at this one mainly.
That's a very pink.
Yeah. They have very soft gradients. Alright, I'm gonna color the eyes. To make it look like she's trying too hard to fit into a vibe that doesn't fit her. Wait, she has a sharp shape in her clothes, but I'm planning to make the colors kind of softer. I always find that like what's it called? Normally cutesy colors like pastels with sharp angles actually feels like a fun contradiction. I would say if you're gonna make her feel like she's not fitting in, go all out on it. Because like you want to see how far you can push it.
Time is at 6.
Yeah.
Dark out already.
Really?
Bruh. Might head off.
Sure.
I might head out.
Let me just finish the highlights really quick and then we'll head out.
You can stay on, I don't care.
Oh. I'm ready to head out too. There we go.
All I'm doing is just doing studies, and I would rather do them on my other computer. Like, I'm kind of just kind of gotten to the point on stream where I'm a little bit bored. I want to
Just kind
go
of.
work on some other stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not really teaching anything. I should do some hand studies as well sometime.
I think that's pretty cute. Thank you, Kerboy, for the follow. I just wanted. You just watched like 8 of your TikToks. I need more. Oh, that's fun. Well, we got a whole lot. So
Yeah, we got a lot of TikToks.
I can't believe I'm mistaken you guys from this other YouTube channel, Learn to Draw Manga. I never heard of that channel. I wonder if it's similar vibe.
I don't know. I don't watch any YouTube. Like, nothing. Know how to draw stuff on YouTube. Bow, 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 bow. Bow, bow. What is everybody
Up to.
up to, yeah? What do company mainly look for in artists? It 100% depends on the position and the company. Like, EA is going to look for something different than Blizzard, and it depends on the position. Is it a Western company? Is it an Asian company? And what do you want to get hired for? It's like saying, what does a school look for in, I don't know, the students that are applying? It's like, is it an engineering school? Is it a lawyer? Is it, are you going to be a lawyer? Are you going to be a doctor? Are you going to be an artist?
Mm-hmm.
The requirements are going to be so wildly different depending on the company, depending on the position. Is it worth it to go to art school? It can be. I think art education is so affordable and easily accessible. I think art school is becoming less and less relevant and worth it every single year. But there are certain cases where it would probably be worth it. If you're rich and from a foreign country and you want to get work in the States, getting a degree can help your chances of getting a job for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not going to go into a ton of debt. That can be a reason. A lot of students who get degrees so they can have a higher chance of getting hired in the States.
Depends on your intention for the school. Like, yeah.
It depends. I would not go to art school if it was free.
No.
I wouldn't. I don't think art schools do a very good job anymore. I probably would not go to art school if it was free. That's how bad art school is compared to other education these days. But again, it's a generalization, right?
I mean, we're also very picky with our classes because, like, we've taken stuff from a lot of good teachers.
But
and then,
like school, do you mean like uni, like colleges, or do you mean like school as? Because there's trade schools out there that are so good, and then there's colleges that are literally just 4 years of wasted time, 4 years of no progress.
Literally.
It's so contextual. What kind of app do you recommend to draw on? Anything that you're comfortable with. And if you're not comfortable with anything, then
Do pencil paper.
literally, and the first one you choose is good enough. Like, just try stuff.
Yeah. I mean, you're gonna be. It's not like it's a program that you're gonna be using for the rest of your life. It's just you're testing it.
Yeah. It's so personal preference. I would be comfortable in any art program. They all work very similarly. So then therefore maybe the cheapest one is the best for you. But if you've got the money to spend, then maybe the one that has the most convenient features.
Mm-hmm.
If you already have an iPad and Apple Pencil, I would say probably Procreate. If you have a PC and a drawing tablet and you're broke, probably Krita.
Krita's great.
Like it so depends on your situation. There's kind of something out there for everyone.
Yeah. I remember back then, before like Ibis or Krita was around or anything like that, like most art programs would have a free version and then a paid version, and the free version would suck.
Yeah. What? Something in DMs?
What I find
Silly.
interesting about this person's like way how they render white is that they have a very like pale white tone with like a nice vibrant like purple for the shadows. And then like a slightly darker shadow. So this is how I would like analyze style, is where they would put the shadows, how hard do they draw the shadows, and what colors they use. Very cute.
Remember an art teacher of mine that had a strictly do only realism? Most art teachers, like, I'm not gonna lie, most art teachers not that good at art.
Yeah.
And that's totally fine. Most, like, it's fine. I wish I knew that when I was starting. I wish I knew that most art teachers are just people with preferences that you may not even necessarily agree with.
Mm-hmm.
You get what you pay for in a lot of cases. In a lot of cases, you don't even get what you pay for.
Which is kind of unfortunate. That's
I
what we
don't-
live in.
I don't at all. Like, if I'm learning from someone as an artist, pretty much the only thing I care about is the quality of their work. That's like a given. Like, if they're a teacher, anybody can call themselves a teacher. Like, literally anybody. I look strictly at the quality of their work. And then, if it's amazing, take everything they say with a grain of salt. Because they're people and they have preferences and they have things that are like, yeah, just personal biases and preferences.
Mm-hmm.
I remember, like, I think one of the best pieces of advice I ever heard was from Craig Mullins. And he basically said he doesn't really like teaching art because he feels like any possible rule he could state has numerous successful artists breaking those.
And
He's
he
like,
actually has
there's
all those
no
pieces too.
rule he can teach that he cannot find very successful pieces that break that rule. Oh, you don't think you should have a tangent? Tell that to some of the old masters.
Who
Everybody's
literally
like, there's
use
a tangent.
tangents.
The thing is that they're consciously breaking these rules, right? It's weird. It's this weird thing. And every single time he taught something, he would always give examples of where's someone who's breaking it. Oh, things need to get lighter as they go away. What about a nighttime scene?
And
Right?
actually, in one of Colton's classes, he literally showed a nighttime scene that had like a very bright foreground.
Yeah,
And I was like,
mean,
wait a second, that actually looks so good.
things get brighter as they go away from you. Okay, what about a nighttime scene where you're sitting in a car and you have your headlights on? Bright foreground, dark background.
Yep.
Like, there's exceptions to everything that are very successful. And it's like you need to know it, but kind of like hold yourself to, this is not a rule, it's just good
way.
advice in a lot of cases, in some cases. There's, like, I feel like a lot of artists reach this certain point where they're like kind of intermediate, or they're like beginner, but maybe a little bit more experienced than other people, and they kind of take on this like, oh man, we really struggle to decide whether we should even have a critique channel in our Discord server. The only reason we have one is through popular demand. Only reason.
Yeah,
And I don't even check the channel because I just am like, oh my gosh.
I just
I can't check the channel because it's all just bad advice. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like, it's people who really want to help but they just don't have the experience. You can end up really cooking someone if you give advice and they really treat it like gospel.
yeah, it's something to be very careful of. Even if you mean best, it's like
And the hand is weird is not a critique.
yeah.
It's not a critique. The hand looks weird, or
Wow, the
the
ear looks-
anatomy is off.
Like
Wow.
no duh.
If it were up to me, I would have no critique channel. I would have like an art help channel, and it's not for critiques. It's just for people like looking for ideas, or hey, how do I use this layer mode or blending mode, or
Yeah.
what's this style called?
Yeah.
That's a better question than some critiques. Because like you get intermediate artists who think they know what they're talking about, and like within the context of their own style they do, but it's very, very difficult because like the last thing I want to do is hold an artist back, or like, what's the word, pigeonhole them into something that I
Yeah.
think they should be doing. But it's like, what was I saying before? Have a bunch of beginner artists critique Akira. Oh, the eyes are too wide. Oh, the body looks weird. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
have a bunch of beginner artists critique some of the best, and watch them like run around. Oh, there's a tangent here. Oh, this needs to be darker. You know what I'm saying? Like, some of the best, just the highest level artists, you get like amateur artists critiquing their work, and they're just
Missing.
all of the critiques would just serve to make it like really generic.
It's like all the most common kinds of solutions.
Yeah.
Like that.
And like you have a critique, like maybe the best artist in a Discord server critiques someone's work, and they're like, I think critiques are more just suggestions, but like they don't think they're suggestions. They think it's like, oh, this is the right way, or it has to be this way. I think at best a critique is a suggestion of what you could do. But it's like, if you try to make the argument that there is not such a thing as improving or good art, like I don't necessarily agree with that either. It just depends. It's so contextual.
Well, I think the context of wacky styles that actually hold together because of the fundamentals is actually something that people kind of find a little bit hard to understand. Like, you can have a character or a style that's just downright not conventionally pretty, but it still works.
You know.
And it's just like, and normal conventional solutions wouldn't really fit. So
I find it really fascinating how, in an attempt to make this, I see this happen all the time. People hate it when their art looks anything like anybody else's.
oh
They're
my
just
gosh, yeah.
like, oh, your character reminds me of this, and they're just like,
I didn't know.
like,
it's
oh
how
no, someone just committed the mortal sin of saying your OC looks like an existing character.
That's popular.
That's
That's very
popular.
popular, yeah.
And it's funny because in an attempt, it's like a contradiction, right? In an attempt to make your work look nothing like anybody else's, you automatically make your work like every other beginner's. It's weird. It's like, if I try to make my character so unique that nobody has ever thought of this before, it immediately makes my character look like a beginner made it. It's weird. That happens so much. And that's all fine. But a lot of people's goals is to get employed as like professionals. And there's definitely good ways to get employed as a professional.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I adore everybody's art. I think it's awesome. But we can't teach, wishy-washy. Like, we're not going to start a school And every single time a student submits their work, we go, it's perfect because all art is subjective. And they're like, well, I can't get employed. It's perfect. Your employer should know that all art is subjective. Like, I don't want to be that kind of school. I want to teach people so they can actually make a living off of art.
I would just say most art colleges are that way, though. Like, subjective.
A lot of art
kind.
colleges do that.
How do you feel about it? I mean, like, and to an extent, there is a sort of like.
Yeah, I think there's truth to it.
There's truth to it, but that's not all how art should be. You know, like especially for people who don't want that goal, it won't fit. That kind of mentality doesn't really fit. But I think like as you get better at art and as you get better at the fundamentals, it kind of becomes more about what you feel about because like you already know how to make attractive artwork. Are you located in the U.S.? If I want to take a class with you.
Yeah, we have a class online. You can get it. It's actually 20% off right now.
Yes, it is Anime Art School. It is on our website.
You can take a screenshot of this. That's the website. It's going to be the yellow button. It's called Anime Art School. Don't Google that. This is a website. You won't find it if you Google it because we don't rank on Google. Mm-hmm. It's also the linky on our profile.
Yep.
But yeah, we have a whole school online. And like I don't care, like I'm not out there trying to convince anybody that like if you want to do art the way that you want to do it, I don't care. Like do what you want. Totally up to you. And there's certain things that are like all of the art is subjective people are quiet all of a sudden when you're just like, okay, then where does this muscle connect to this bone? Is it just kind of wherever? Like, do some people just have the foot on the top of the head? Like, is that it?
Foot on the top.
You know what I mean? Like, obviously there are cases where it's like, what did Robert Lemler say? Like representational art.
Yes.
It's like if you want to do something that's kind of just like abstraction, however you feel, and there's no right and wrong, totally fine, nothing wrong with that. But if you want to represent something
accurately,
if you want to do representational art, you can get better at it. You absolutely can get better at it, and you can get really good critiques. We teach representational art. We want to represent something. This is a hand. This is a dress. This is an eye. Mm-hmm. Because like I can't teach and help people improve if everything is equally
good,
is equally fine. Like if you know what I mean, it's not possible to run an art education business. And then the funny thing is, if everything is equally good and nothing can be improved upon, then how do we get people in chat who are just like, oh my gosh, I improved so much, thank you so much? Like that wouldn't happen. Mm-mm. If everything is subjective, everybody's at the same level. There is no improving because everything is perfect from a starting point.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point.
But then why do some artists have 1 million followers and others don't? Like if everything has an equal chance, if everything is the same in terms of quality, in terms of it's all subjective. Like if everybody's boxes are correct,
then no box is in.
How can you learn perspective? Like if there's no such thing as a box that's not correctly in perspective, like how could you teach it? And I think a lot of people will just get wound up on that, and for everybody else, we practice. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like we can get all wrapped up with, is this art? Yes, it's art.
Now go draw.
Yeah. For everybody else, Stephen King had a good quote.
I was just gonna say that, but I didn't.
Stephen King. What was that quote that Stephen King made?
Something about like the average writer, or something about amateur writers.
He basically was just like, for all of us mortals, we just get back to work or something. What was it? It totally reminded me of that quote. It was good because Stephen King is a powerhouse when it comes to writing. He like locks himself in his room and writes and writes and writes. That guy publishes so many books so consistently. I don't necessarily think that it's a right or a wrong way, but it's like, it's so good to be well exposed to different types of people
Yeah.
who have different methods. Yeah. What was that Stephen King quote?
Stephen King quote. Oh, where did you find it?
I don't remember. Was it in a video?
I think it'd be an interesting video to make if we like.
Amateurs sit
challenged.
and wait for inspiration. The rest of us just get up and go to work.
That's what it is.
That was it.
That was it.
I like that a lot. Like, I really, really like that quote. And it's like, there's nothing wrong with being an amateur. Not in the slightest. But some of us gotta make a living, yo.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
Almost
the rest of us just get up and practice.
Yep.
That's a nice quote. I need that framed. It's true. It's so true. And like, there's nothing wrong with sitting around and waiting for inspiration. I don't want to leave my future success as an artist or writer up to whether something just kind of comes to me magically. I want to have my career be a little bit more predictable
And controlled.
and controlled. I don't want to leave my future up to just complete luck. I want to be able to try and influence it. Like, maybe everything just boils down to complete luck. And I think to a large extent it does. Like, I could have been born with no access to any computer or education or anything. But, like, I'm not going to sit around thinking about it all day.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's my job as someone who is born very lucky to take advantage of that luck. And help other people learn how to draw who weren't as lucky.
Yeah, that's the one.
Mm-mm.
Do you just not do line art on a separate layer? Oh, it's on a separate layer.
Is it?
Somewhere. There it is. I just add little extra gubbins on top of the line work layer.
Gubbins.
It's a good word for it.
Gubbins literally just means stuff.
It does in British. What is it?
In British.
In British.
Yeah.
As if it's a language. The dialect. Or an accent.
In it.
In it?
Gubbins in it.
I love the word gubbins. It's so cute. This is so cute. I actually really like this drawing. Quite like it.
I like that quote a lot. It's one of my absolute favorites.
How to get better at line art. My sketches are always somehow better than my line art. Let me see what my sketch looked like underneath. So this was my sketch for this little piece right here, and this is my line work on top. I will turn down my sketch. You can actually see that my line work is actually very different from my sketch. Like, there's areas that I add to it. There's like different bits of line weight. There's more clarity. I actually like fix some of the work in there. It's possible that when you're doing your line work, you're either too timid with your lines and you kind of go like, okay, I see this a lot. I will actually do a little separate layer for this to show what I mean. If you are a timid person who does line work, you'll generally see this.
How many of you, all right, there's nothing wrong with this, by the way.
There's nothing
How
wrong.
many of you been scrolling on TikTok and this is what you see? If you've been scrolling on TikTok and stumbled across a live stream and this is all you see, go ahead and hit that follow button.
And so if I zoom out, what's the result? A meh looking line work. The reason is because you're basically trying to get the perfect line with a bunch of like very uneven strokes and you're too scared. So what I would do is I'd rather go in with a line work and be like one stroke,
You can't even do this with traditional art, really.
can't.
Not unless you're drawing the size of a building.
Yeah.
It's kind of like an artificial way. I think it's like really addicting to do this. I don't know. No, I see it all the time.
I see it.
And it's not that you may be accidentally making it harder on yourself.
Yeah. So, for me personally, the way how I got better at line work is I just drew one line in one stroke, and I moved on to the next one. Because if I noodle too long on one line, it just takes me forever to make a piece. And not none of that, but it doesn't really even create that much of a very flowy line. It creates a lot of weird, lumpy shapes that don't feel very connected to each other. So, what I would do is I would look at my base sketch, treat my sketch as a base, not the finished work. Like, my sketch is just a guide. My line work is a further refinement, but not like I'm just tracing the same lines. I'm like, okay, what can I add? So like, oh, I like this part, but maybe I will add an extra loop right in here. And my loop has a bit of a different texture. So like, okay, maybe this part will be thicker, this part will be thinner. You're adding design onto your line work. And oh, like maybe this line right here, I like it, but maybe I'll connect some strands so that they feel, so that this strand, so that this strand feels more cohesive and feels a little bit, has a bit more texture.
There's so many ways to do line work.
So many ways. And I'm just saying this is how I like to do it. I'm not saying that this is the way to do it. Hoop Tart. That's a fun name. Quick question. Can you explain how to draw the eyes in different, especially the eyelids in different angles? Making the eyelids the eye socket always confuses me for some reason.
You mean like
eyes?
You mean like real eyes?
You mean like real eyes?
Real eyes.
Real eyes, real eyes? What kind of brush do you use? You can get this brush on our website. You can also find our classes and our Discord server on this website, drawanime.com.
Oh, anime eyes.
Oh, anime eyes. Yeah, so I would say you don't draw the eye socket, you just know it's there. I don't know if that really makes much sense, but let me think. I did draw like a little thing here. Sometimes what you can do is, as an exercise, just draw like some ovals or whatever, like however big your anime eye is, because some anime eyes are actually more oval shaped than circles. And then what you would do is try your best to wrap the eyelid, because this is your eyeball, right? It's not like, yeah, technically your eye socket has to do with it, but not really, because you don't really see a lot of indentation in anime faces. It's more flatter. But I would wrap my eyelid around the sphere.
Brush?
Make it feel like it.
You can get the brush here for free. Sanji Delaney, hello. Delaney, that's a good name, you know.
That's a good name.
That's a good name.
It's like a Naomi friend.
I don't hear that name enough.
Yeah. Have you heard? I never heard that name before.
You didn't?
No. I never heard that name before. So this eyelid matches the curvature of the sphere, and the bottom of the eyelid matches the curvature down here. So think of the eye like a wireframe. Here's your eyelid.
Think of the eye like a wireframe?
No, like think of like these forms right here, like wrapping around the.
You mean like wrapping lines on it?
Yeah,
like
wrapping
that,
lines on it. Yeah, like they're wrapping lines.
Yeah, anime, it definitely has three-dimensional form to it. A lot of the time it will be cheated, but you still want to keep that three-dimensional form in your mind. The best anime artists are really good at dimensional drawing. And it's solid, it's there. People think, oh, because it's a style, you know, it's like you can ignore the 3D aspect, or you can ignore perspective. It's not, and it really, really, really shows when the perspective is ignored, and there's impossible perspective.
Here's the brush. Yeah, I would treat a cool anime male eye the same way. Just make the eye smaller, make it more narrow.
Do you think you're consistent with your art style? I don't even think about art style.
Yeah, I don't.
It's not something that ever crosses my mind. I just draw what I draw. I just draw what I feel like drawing. And if I really like someone's work, I'll study their work and learn tips from them. If I don't like a certain type of thing, I won't do it. Art style never really crosses my mind. Doesn't really cross Christina's mind.
I don't even think I have a style. So whenever people say like,
I mean,
"Oh, your
you
style,"
do.
I do. But like, I don't think of it like this is my style. I draw it in this way. Like
it's just
naturally.
whatever happens to develop.
That's exactly it.
Like your style.
Hey, Danny draws.
I like Will Weston said it best. We took a class by Will Weston, and he just said, your style is going to develop naturally based on who you learn from and what you like drawing. That's it. You don't even have to think about style. You don't even have to know anything about art style at all. You'll have an art style. It's just muscle memory, the things that go into your brain that you learn about, the types of lines that you draw. If you draw a lot of animals, it will influence your style. If you draw a lot of, mechs and machinery, if you like rendering, it's going to influence your style. People who want to work at like Blizzard and Riot, they develop that style by focusing on the things that make it that style.
Yeah.
I've had numerous friends who went to work at Blizzard, and the style is something that you can consciously learn and control.
Absolutely.
I don't know, the funny thing is like art style to me, and I don't mean this at all in a bad way. Art style to me is almost like an ego thing.
It's like a self-taught thing. It's like a brand, or not like a...
I mean, like, it's like an awareness of the self, which is like ego, and I don't mean bad ego. I just mean it's like anything that like you label as yourself. It's like, remember what Dr. K was saying? He's like, you can't biopsy me and find doctor.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
It's like you can't biopsy and find my style. It's like this thing that is...
Maybe it's like an egocentric type concept.
I don't know. I don't really know. It's interesting though.
I would say it's like identity.
It's like an accent almost. Yeah, it's kind of like...
Like some people would treat their style like their art identity.
Yeah, and they get like so flustered if they see other artists doing something similar. Or if they say, oh, your style's similar to this person. They're just like, ah.
No, it's the end of the world.
I can't live like that. Like, I can't live trying to get better at art while retaining complete 100% separation from everybody else who's ever drawn.
Isolation.
It would destroy me. It's like trying to learn English but have an accent like nobody else in the world. That would be really hard.
Yeah.
It'd be too much work. Some artists even have dozens of art styles. At that point, you just have the ability to draw. Style is just a way to push and pull different things. And people don't realize that they are doing that, really. At the point where there's dozens, it's just whatever you feel like doing.
Yeah. But I also think that art styles can kind of be like a way for people to categorize other artists,
It's like the Buzz Lightyear thing with all the Buzz Lightyears on the shelf. I'm a self-taught artist with a unique art style. And then all the Buzz is on his shelves.
Yeah.
It kind of like reminds me of that.
It kind of does.
It's funny. Hey, for the rest of us, we just go to work.
And draw.
We just get up and go to work. I don't have the luxury of thinking about art style. It's funny.
I mean, this kind of topic always feels entertaining to talk about. Because I used to be the kind of artist that was obsessed with the style, and then I grew out of it. But it's not like...
It's like a phase.
It's a phase. For me, at least, it was a phase.
Some people don't grow out of it.
Yeah.
That's fine. People can do what they want.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be able to live as an artist if I was always comparing myself to other people and trying to oh no,
They're doing something similar.
they're doing
They're
something
copying
similar.
me.
I have to
Oh
change.
no. Yeah, I have to change.
And it's like, considering the fact that people learn through observation, it's like almost this like contradictory thing. It's like, so you learn by studying something, but you can't be like the thing that you studied. It's like you learn how to spell a word, but you can't spell the word that way.
Yeah.
It's like this inherent contradiction almost.
Well, it's like the similar concept with like where it's like they learn something that's obvious, but now it's too obvious, so I can't do that.
That's what Will Weston was saying. You know? He's like, amateurs. Oh, Will Weston has so many good quotes. What did he say exactly? Students will never have heard of something before in their life. They'll learn it, and then suddenly they can't use it because now it's too obvious. It's like, I just learned a new way to break down the hands that I never thought of before. Well, now I can't break them down that way because it's so obvious. That's so funny.
Meanwhile, everyone uses it because it's actually a legit move, legit technique.
Yeah, and nothing ever that you discover, you're the first one who's discovered it. Like, there's always somebody else. Everything is a remix. Nothing is new, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It's like, it only matters if it's new, if I want to be, like, quirky and unlike anything else.
But I think it's a humbling experience to kind of get out of it because now you're like, well, now I can explore different art styles that I don't have to prove myself, you know. Like, people have a style because at least some artists have a style because, and they really cling to it because they want to prove themselves that they can be memorable. But I think there's also a piece in knowing that, like, you don't have to but maybe that's like even a false idea, you know. Because there's just so many different unique things out there that you can try and learn from, and it makes your art also more unique too. I think that if you have different influences, you will still end up with a very unique idea that's you, because you know you make your own decisions that other people don't really think about. Like, you were showing me that study that you did of the Food Wars thing, and you're like talking about, oh, these are Colton decisions versus this is the decision that this artist makes.
Yeah, I'm really trying to increase my awareness of my own art. Like, yeah, it's like the Colton decision. It's like, that's a Colton line.
Yep.
And like, that's a curve that I would use. Or it's like, oh, you see, I wrapped it this way, they wrapped it that way. That's because I kind of fell back into my default
Mode.
muscle memory or whatever.
I might be getting one of your books and Scott Robertson's How to Draw for Christmas. Ooh,
Oh,
how
nice.
fun.
Very nice.
What program you're drawing on? This is Procreate. Procreate.
It's more just like a discussion as well.
Yeah. I mean, y'all don't have to agree with us or anything.
Oh, yeah.
We're not
That's-
even forcing you guys to agree with
That's
us.
totally fine. I don't want everybody to agree with me.
Yeah.
It's like, discussion is like different ideas coming together. If everybody believed the same thing, nothing would be interesting. It's like if everybody had the same art style.
Yeah, that's right.
Nothing would be interesting.
Well, I've definitely seen. There's definitely gonna be like. How do I say this? I want to try to word it in a way that feels like it makes sense. There's like phases that artists go through, that they'll actually make very similar decisions, and I've seen it because I've been in an art community before that was just very focused on like style. And then I'll look at all their art and I'm like, oh, they actually end up looking all the same. They make the same decisions.
That's like what I was saying earlier. It's like, in an effort to be unique, all of the people who try to be unique are the same as each other.
Yeah, like
It's weird.
I can't
it's
tell
just this
you.
weird contradiction. Not like they're weird, but it's a weird phenomenon.
Exactly, it's a weird phenomenon. I've seen so many styles that look like this. Very red nose.
It's funny. And it's like they don't realize that they're being inspired by things that they've seen. They're just like, crap, like what shape have people not used as a nose before?
Yeah, and then like very puffy lips, for example. Like I've seen that. I've seen this exact combination. Like, and very, very long eyes that reach past
Eyelashes.
sorry, and long eyelashes that reach past the face. Like I've seen this years ago.
What if we did a stream where we're just like from memory we're trying to
Oh my gosh.
come up with like
And like really thick eyebrows or something. I don't know. I've just seen this many times. And it's funny because it's like it's just interesting. It's an interesting phenomenon.
I do find it interesting. It's so fascinating to me that it's like if everybody were to go, I'm gonna move somewhere where there's no one else around, but I'm just gonna pick a spot on the map. Everybody who decides that picks the same spot on the map. It's kind of like that happening. I wonder why that happens. There's got to be like a psychological like. It's got to be named in some way. Like surely.
I don't know.
Surely there's got to be like some sort of a name for it. This is where I would just go to like ChatGPT or something and just be like, is there a name for people? Is there a name for a phenomenon where a bunch of people try to choose something different but all end up choosing the same thing? Maybe that will work. Let's see what happens. Coordination failure in game theory when everyone tries to act differently or avoid coordination but ends up coordinating unintentionally. People all try to take an unpopular route to avoid traffic, but they all pick the same alternate road. The hipster effect.
Hipster effect.
Social phenomenon where people try to be unique or different, yet because they all react to the same trends in similar ways, they end up looking or behaving alike. Term was popularized by mathematician Jonathan Tubal's research on synchronizations in systems of anti-conformists. That's interesting.
Huh, that is interesting.
Anti-conformity synchronization from complexity science and statistical physics. This describes how systems of agents that try to avoid each other's choice still end up synchronizing over time. Paradox of uniqueness. A more informal sociological idea when striving for individuality leads to conformity. And I feel like the way to solve it is by just ignoring it.
Yeah.
Like you just do your own thing
Just do your
as
own
you
thing.
want without paying attention. I remember my mentor when I was very first getting into concept art, my mentor, because I was going to a school and I had 30-something classmates, my mentor was just like, don't ever look at any of your classmates' work. And then I was just like, dang, that's crazy. Like, that's pretty hard. But, like, you know, sometimes I would do it. That's why I actually have teachers. Like, I kind of respect teachers. There's sort of, like, two ways to think about it. Some teachers will, like, give you homework but give you no guidelines on how to do it. And I always see students complaining about it. Like, my teacher had me do an assignment but never told us how to do it.
Yeah.
I actually think that's totally fine. I've had teachers like that. And as long as they don't grade harshly, like as long as they don't expect you to read their mind, I think it's great. You get such wild, varied results from homework. I think the best combination is this teacher who gives homework, gives you no guidelines on how to do it, and then grades really, really, really generously.
Because it's like there's no failing.
You know, Thomas Bertling, who, by the way, co-authored that How to Draw book you were talking about. Thomas Bertling was that way in Art Center. He would give homework, but he would give no guidelines on presentation or anything. Just complete freedom. Presentation, subject, all that kind of stuff.
Wow.
And a lot of people would complain about it. And I'm like, well, it doesn't grade harsh.
So, like, what's the
It
point?
pretty much always gives you an A no matter what.
Oh, that's nice.
So, like, as long as you do the work, as long as you do something.
Yeah.
I like it. Because you don't get, like, cookie cutter students.
Well, it kind of reminds me of when, this is very niche, but like when we were making portfolios for Art Center, a lot of people would reference the Skillful Huntsman, and all their portfolios would look like that.
That happens so much with Art Center portfolios. Just, and like they try to play it safe by copying what other people did.
Yeah.
I didn't do that at all. My portfolio looks so different.
You just did your own thing.
Yeah, they gave me a huge scholarship too. Too bad I dropped out. I mean, I'm glad I dropped out, but
like, you got a big scholarship. It's a fun style to draw in.
I find the hairline for hairstyles without bangs. There's kind of a range.
There is a range.
There's like a range of hairlines, but hairlines have really, really varied ranges.
I think like if you want like a comfortable like general idea, you find your brow, take this length, and maybe you can like, I would say divide it in half, or a little bit less than that would be a generally good range for like hairline. Because if you test it now, here's like hair without bangs, it feels comfortable, and then you have enough room for your forehead and your eyebrows, if you want to go that route. So you take your brow ridge, take the top of your head, and kind of, you can try different heights, but generally I think halfway from this point is pretty good. But of course some people have higher or lower hairlines, totally up to you. Yeah, do you have any advice on drawing child faces? I keep ending up with faces that look more like teens. Well, I would say you can shorten your faces even more and actually round them out a little bit more. So you can even go for the more chibi route. Larger eyes as well would feel more childish. And sometimes you can make like very, very small features, like very small nose and very small mouth. Totally up to you. This is just one way to do it. But a lot of like anime kids kind of look like this. Hey, Mermaid Micah. Wonderful. Thank you. Yeah, you're welcome, Katie? Ketty? Sorry, you can't pronounce it. Hello. Yeah, we're actually, Chuka, we're actually doing a vertical stream. Just testing it out, seeing how it works. I'd say it's pretty nice. Definitely less effort, I think. But the overlays are fun, though. I really wanted, you pronounced it well, great. I really want to take your anime drawing classes. I can't afford it currently. That's okay. Which is why we have the sale. I don't know if you know about our sale yet, but we have a 20% off right now, which is, the code is spooky. So you can see if that helps. If not, then I guess just continue saving up. But I really appreciate that. How many years did this Mastery of Art take? I don't think I mastered it at all. Like, but I mean, I would say definitely I've put in my hours of work for drawing and drawing a bunch of anime styles. Like, I've drawn anime for many years, but I've also done foundation and drew a lot. So I don't know how many years. I would just say like probably I've probably over 6,000 hours of drawing. Yes, Danny draws a sail. I didn't really answer it very clearly, but it's because it's hard to really answer it. Because we don't really measure our improvement in years, we measure it in hours. And also quality of practice. I'm just studying an artist whose style is very nostalgic, and so I've just been taking these different head angles and just like trying to emulate a similar vibe. So like with this one, for example, I just turned that one into June, but I just constructed it and I try to make it as similar as possible. You know, this one is Miki, and I used kind of like this one as reference. I think the artist is Tsubasu Izumi. Cute art style. Very iconic. They use a lot of yellows in their skin tones. It's actually kind of interesting. I know I don't usually see a lot of this much yellow, but when I actually did that for Miko's right here, I added a tinge of yellow. In here, it actually makes the skin look much more vibrant. It's like a small hint of it.
Wow, that's very yellow.
It is very yellow, but it's cool.
Yeah.
Very high contrast of relationships and color.
7?
7
That's
already?
wild. Oh my goodness, 7 o'clock. Whoa. Oh, I finished my drink.
You did.
Did you get your drink drunk? Drink? Christina's like, I'm gonna have one of these drinks and I'm going to finish it. Let me guess. It's 75% full. Ooh, only 60% full. That's good.
60% is pretty good.
That's good stuff. Bro, I'm telling you, it works so much to draw hands like that.
I know, it makes it so much easier. When coloring or rendering, do you do line art first or do you color it above the sketch? I don't know. If you want a line art, then you would color underneath the sketch, or you would color underneath the line art. I've also done pieces where I just colored under the sketch and then I just merged it and then just started painting. There's no like right or wrong way.
Dang, dude, I want to take one of Ramon Hurtado's classes.
Oh yeah, I do
They're
too.
just good. They look so good.
Remind me to make an account.
You don't. You get something. You think it's kind of like ours.
Oh really? Oh okay.
Probably. I mean, based on what I saw.
Oh, I see. Well, I'm ready to wrap up whenever.
Yeah. I passed 300 on my 1,000 anime heads.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
Congrats.
I'm like 310 now. I've really not put in a lot lately, but I should start doing a little bit more. Of course, I draw anime heads all the time on like different papers, but I only count them if they're in that particular file. I've probably done like 500 or 600 just total, but I don't.
Officially.
I only count official ones. Hey, I want to get better at drawing anime. 1,000 is like, it's not very much at all. People be like, I want to be a professional artist. I have to draw 20 hands. What?
20. Bro, 50 hands is a lot for a lot of people.
Yeah. It's like, I want to be a truck driver. I have to drive 100 miles?
Yeah.
It's great. Yeah,
do your miles.
1,000. It should have taken a couple months, but I haven't been working on it very consistently. I might need to try that. Do it. It's good stuff.
How to draw a messy bun. Draw a round shape of any kind. This is your bun. You can make it very pretty, like this, or you can make it a bit messier. This is a fun, if you want a messier bun, start with a more organic shape rather than a perfect shape. And then all you have to do is draw wrapping strands going around the form. Kind of like if you look at Usagi, Sailor Moon, Usagi's hair. Her hair is literally just like a sphere that has like a bunch of wrapping lines like this. You basically just do a messier version of that concept. Add stray strands, make it go out from the silhouette. You got yourself a messy bun. And then, of course, no messy bun is complete without showing the hair strands coming towards, going towards the bun. But I would also make that very messy. Like, I wouldn't make it clean. I would make like some thicker than others and some kind of like a little bit more bulged up, for example. And then maybe some that are a little bit tighter. The messier you make it, the more like less clean you make it, the messier it's gonna look.
What if you and I did 100 movie studies? And we just took on the challenge together.
And we streamed it?
Yeah.
I think that'd be a fantastic idea.
Well, I wouldn't stream it probably. Maybe some of it. No,
Some
I
of
just
it.
mean like for practice.
Oh, 100 movie
Chat?
studies? Heck yeah.
Do you know what this sound means? It means it is time to wrap up. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out, showing up. I'm going to go practice and try to get better. Probably going to do some movie studies tonight. I want to study The Goonies.
Yeah, don't forget, chat. 20% off on our anime art school. Go ahead and check that out on our link in bio.
Yes. Bye-bye, everybody. Have a great night, and we will see you maybe tomorrow or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. Pop Soup says bye. Bye-bye. 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 See ya.